Welcome to the latest episode of Sorcery Shenanigans. You can see everyone. It's not just me and my face. See, this is your camera here. This is your camera here. So this is one of those. This is your camera here.
We're here.
Oh my God.
We're a little bit.
It's all good though. I think there's either queer or not.
We're a floaty demographic.
It was either that or we just got punked. I was going to say, just cameras there.
Here. Yeah, welcome. This is the latest episode. We're going to crack straight into it and say thank you to our sponsors, Dempsey Comics and Dakota Irish. We've announced the winners of their last giveaway, which is the beautiful graphic novel of Die, the volume, which I don't have with me. But just imagine this multiplied by 1 million with some really cool art in it, and you'll be, on track. And also, we have this to give away for this episode. And anyone that's a D&D nerd or a fantasy nerd will know what this is. So this is, you can see that, it's the collected edition from Titan Comics of Elric, Bane of the Black Sword, the Michael Moorcock.
Which you want in your comic.
Moorcock.
Michael Moorcock library. So if anyone doesn't know what Elric is pretty much the storyline is responsible for a lot of what's in modern fantasy. Dark elves, chaos, all came from the Elric story.
I've never read them, so it'd be something I'll be checking out after this.
This is the deep lore. So this is some cool shit, and the art in it is beautiful. It's real classic kind of 70s.
Anybody we know comic. Do the art?
No, because it's a collection edition. So the adapted and written by Roy Thomas, pencils by Mary Mitchell and Mark Pasella. Colours by Lovren Krzazinski. It's murdered that name. Martin Thomas. It's all collected together by Titan Comics. So while this is volume 6, it's actually they're all self-contained stories.
Yeah.
So you can jump in at any particular point. It's just some beautiful fantasy. This is our giveaway for this episode. We'll have a question for this at the break. So,
yes.
So that's from Dempsey Comics. Thank you so much. Go check them out. DempseyComics.com. I always get that wrong. .ie. Or go check them out in Cave Street. Because that's where they are.
Yeah, I was in there yesterday. Go buy things from them.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
So you got a load of you got a Swamp Thing thing.
I got a Swamp Thing figure because I don't have a Swampy and Lobo was lonely. And I got a beautiful collected edition, hardback collected edition of the comic set after the animated series Korra. So they did something similar with Avatar. They continued the story through the comics. And I hadn't read these before. They're in a lovely hardback collection edition.
I just met someone who liked the Korra.
What?
Oh, people are real mad about that.
Really?
Yeah, well, we'll get to this on the actual podcast.
Yeah, that's the actual podcast.
I was just going to say that Swamp Thing makes my heart sing, but okay.
There you go.
That's all I was going to say.
Go check out Dempsey Comics. And then our second sponsor, Dakota Irish, DakotaIrish.com. That's why I don't get mixed up. It's DakotaIrish.com. And you can check out our discount code down there in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, where you'll get yourself some nice discounts on their website. They've got some new stock up there, new dice trays, new dice, rake of cool stuff. So go check them out at DakotaIrish.com.
I love their site, but it's fucking dangerous, man. Yeah. You can't just go on and buy one thing.
It's a gateway drug. You have to eat your dinner first.
Yeah, that's my completely full dice tray will attest to.
Indeed. I love their stout dice, but they don't taste like stout. But they you could just have a stout with the dice. But yeah.
I think they've got actually dice for drinks for every occasion.
Yeah, they do.
So go check out our other sponsors. That's DakotaIrish.com. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the adventure. Where we left off in the last episode, you had escaped Barovia after taking down some decrepit hag who had cursed.
What'd you call me?
Oh no, you didn't.
They had cursed Grey after you'd been bitten by a whale. you'd also very heroically saved your former or fellow crew member Bright Eyes from, even though he turned against you.
Yeah.
And you brought their kind of unconscious body back to the ship. The ship then basically escaped from Barovia, punched through the veil, and just as that happened, the arcane kind of tattoos, brands that are on both Zilzara and the captain kicked
Magic
in.
tats.
Magic tats. And Zilzara was basically floating 6 feet above the deck as it went to warp, eyes glowing, hair flowing back, and then there was a shout from below deck, the captain, the captain! And that's where we ended, and that's where we're going to pick up. So, you have just heard that from below deck. Zilzara, you're kind of still half floating, but as the ship has cracked into full speed, the energy dissipates from your form and you start to slowly float back down. Because you rolled a certain thing on your magic roll so that's what the effects you got on.
Right.
So,
sorry, is Ming now with us? Cause
that's the captain was
yeah.
She was below deck. So
Down deck.
Yeah.
she had got, you brought Bright Eyes on, she had gone below deck to tell the twins, let's go, let's book it. And all of a sudden, as soon as the ship hit high speed and just bounced out of there, that's when the magic kicked in. So you're starting to float back down to the deck. What are you two doing at this point, or what else are you doing at this point?
Am I restricted in any way by what I can do?
No.
No, I'm free now of curses and things. I'm a regular
Well,
person
yeah.
again.
As far as you can tell, you could feel it because you were starting to turn as the magic took over your body during that time, and when the crone was taken down, you felt yourself kind of being lifted, like you didn't have that calling to the moon.
From the shadow. So basically, the Roger, they all collapsed because
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
The control ship was taken out
Very
by
good.
6 yards.
Very good. So yeah, I want to worried about still, obviously. Have we got? I'm just gonna check my equipment.
Well, Gray's checking her equipment in. You've just literally started to gently float back. Like it wasn't an abrupt.
Yeah.
You floated back down, and the energy pulsed through you. It kind of felt nice and warm.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a surge of energy. You do feel energy, like there's a kind of a crackle, like you're static, and the hair on the back of your neck, and your hair is kind of all like it's like somebody's rubbed a balloon against your head.
And have the tattoos spread at all? I'm kind of inspecting myself to see have they like grown or gotten more intricate or anything, because they started off in certain areas.
They were up around your clavicle.
Yeah.
That's how they all start. Then you end up with a
You get
sleeve,
one, and then
you're like, well, I better finish this off. Yeah, I know what you're like.
I know.
And so you actively looking up your arms and stuff. So.
I'm like, what's
And
going on?
are Zill's arms covered mostly, or are they free?
Yeah, so she has a long sleeve tunic and bracers. So pulling up her sleeve to have
Okay.
a look and kind of pulling her tunic down to see.
But-
So she would have obviously, it's still here, but trying to see has it.
Sure.
it done?
It has moved. So you now have the brand has now moved down your arm, and it's. I won't say it's like one of those old school 90s tribal tattoos or anything, but it's some intricate,
It's
beautiful
not
design.
that.
It's not
Like,
that.
you don't feel the urge to join a biker gang or something, but it's like, or maybe you do, but it's beautifully intricate. More so, if you were to pick a kind of a design, it'd be more Celtic in design. It's got swirls and swirls and kind of Omish symbols on it across it, and every now and again they kind of seem to feather outwards.
Okay.
But they're moving down. There's a kind of a greenish glow off, and that's kind of fading. But they've now moved down, kind of just past your elbow. There's no pain or anything.
Yeah, I was
as they
just
do.
about to ask, there's no pain.
There's no pain. It's like they're you know what they look like? They look like it's vines
Okay.
starting to curl their way down your arm
Mm-hmm.
on both sides. So they come off across your shoulders and then down your arms, as if they're kind of going like as if they're two tattoo sleeves that are starting. To
Yeah.
fall.
So I obviously was levitating and looking slightly possessed. When people down on deck noticed there was a problem with Ming-Na, so I'm presuming I didn't hear it, or
You could
Z
give me a
didn't hear
perception
it.
roll to see if you did.
Well, what I was thinking was Z, because herself and Ming-Na have discussed this a lot, because they are the only two affected, and they do have this kind of bond. Her initial reaction is, well, if this has happened to me, where is Ming-Na?
Yeah.
So where is the captain, guys? Like, we need to, you know, if this just happened to me, I need to know that she's okay, or...
Yeah, let's go below deck. Let's go
yeah, I
see.
think we should definitely see what's going on.
Okay.
I was looking for equipment to pull her back down. I'm glad you didn't have to see me
When
try
this
and
happened
use my-
and Zeldara like started floating up into the air,
Okay.
Lopan quickly kind of went, right, I got this, right, and he took out like 50 feet of rope that for some strange reason he always has, and is mid tying it to the deck, not realizing that she's coming down, is tying another loop to kind of, and is running over, and he sees that she's landed, but he's still like, I got you, don't worry, not realizing that it's over, and I'm tying it to the ship. It's like, right, I got you. Like, is this going to happen to the rest of us? Hang on, what's
Silly
going on?
rabbit.
What? Like, so, like, wasting me. I'll just untie you, sorry. As I realise it's, I'll untie the other rope.
Lopan unties you, and in the tree you start to make your way down below deck.
Yeah.
And there's hustle and bustle, and there's like, I mean, the crew are still going about their thing. They're kind of all looking to see what the fuck. Some of them are like, fuck, she's floating. But they're going about their general task because the ship is in flight.
Yeah.
And they have to keep
shit
it
to do.
kind of, they have shit to do. But there are some crew members kind of as you come down, like, as you remember, kind of layout of the ship with long corridors, and you do notice that the arcane symbols, and you two notice it, but you feel it, that the arcane symbols in the ship are humming, and you feel it more than you did before.
Okay.
So it's like, because before previously when you did a bit of meditation where you were kind of reaching out, you could see the entity of the ship.
Yeah.
As if it had these veins or nerve endings that were stretched throughout.
Yeah.
And as you're walking through the corridor, you can't help but notice that the arcane symbols that adorn the walls and the wood that are carved into the wood, there's a definite kind of hum off them, but it's not an acoustic hum. It's like
Jazz the home off them.
But it's like there's an arcane hum that you can feel vibrating through, like the magical energy that are emanating off the ship. Because that's what Spelljammers are. They're ships driven by magic.
Yeah.
But the normal symbols, that's become our norm, hasn't it? Like seeing this.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on the ship enough now to know like this is how the ship works. But you definitely can feel the energy pulsing through the ship. It's like you can hear the hum of it. You can feel this, like
More
it's
connected
like
to it.
It's kind of like you're more connected to it. That like it's like that old adage in Star Trek. You could feel the deck plates. Like Scotty could feel the deck plates on the old Enterprise and know how fast it was going.
Yeah.
It's kind of to that level of you definitely it's natural. It's very natural to you. It's becoming more natural. And you make your way through the corridors towards where the shouting is coming from, and you see the door kind of at the end. The two double doors that lead into the engine room is open, and you see a couple of people that crowded around looking in, and you push past them, and you look down, and there's Carabash, kind of off to the center because the twins are in the chairs.
Yeah.
And that's in the center, kind of the center of the room, and it's driving the ship. But she is the captain has collapsed, but Carabash is kind of holding her up.
Yeah.
And he has her in his arms. And as you get in, you notice, you've definitely seen, you sense the arcane energy as you walk into the room, which is a lot of in this room.
Yeah.
But in particular, focused on the captain. The brands that are on her have curled up around her face, and they're kind of like up and kind of up around her ears, around her eyes. Her hair is back. Her eyes are open, but they're pure green, glowing. And she's just unconscious in his arms. What exposed skin you can see on her, be it the lower part of her arms, below her armor, across her face, her hands, the brands have kind of curled all around it, and she's just pulsing. To you, it just looks like she's glowing with energy. So, what do you do?
What do we and the crew know about this kind of magic? We can feel it. They use it. It's the same magic that flies the ship, yet no different.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shit.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't even shaking my head. I was just
He
going.
was doing this.
Yeah, if you want to kind of.
I'll roll an arcana.
Yeah, whoever wants to kind of suss out the magic, obviously you can roll an arcana check.
I'm just going to go. Do you want us? Is
I
there?
was going to use identify. The
Well,
spell.
I was going to use arcana because I have a ridiculous modifier.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 21.
Go for it.
21.
Oh my god.
Identify is for identifying magical objects.
Yeah, is she not at this point a magical object?
You can objectify me all you want.
Sorry, can you sign?
I thought like she might be being turned into some kind of magical object.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that's so the magic that runs the ship is magic. It's the twins' magic. It's the things. The tattoos. It's dark magic. You know, you've.
Well, you don't know if it's dark magic.
No.
Right.
Like so, I mean, if you want to roll an Arcana check to kind of suss out, but like with your Arcana
as
check,
a team, we're
Yeah, as a team we lose my skills.
so as soon as you kind of rush in and you look down, you can, with an Arcana check of 21, you know that it's quite a high roll. So
It is quite a high roll. Yeah, I'd say 21's pretty good.
you kind of straight away you kind of look from Mingna, you look from to the twins in the chairs, you look down at your hands, you look down at your arms, and you realise this all happened as soon as the ship kicked in.
Yeah.
The energy pulsed through you and pulsed through the captain as soon as you bamfed out and the ship was at full speed.
Mm-hmm.
This is connected to the ship.
Yeah.
There is something between what is happening to you and the captain that is connected some way to the ship, because the arcane energies are too similar.
Yeah.
It's like a wavelength that's very, very similar. That you feel there is a connection here with the ship, but you don't know enough about the ship
Yeah.
to know exactly what the connection is.
And
Can I go?
sorry, all I was going to say is based on my role. Can I tell why? Is there any
I
sense?
presume
of,
you're going to tell us that.
Is there any sense I can get of why it's affected Ming-Na more than it has affected me?
I think it's just she's had it longer, maybe.
That's what I got the.
Yeah.
Lopan got the impression that she's had it longer.
There's no real way of telling why it's impacting her because
I'm a magic user and she's not.
she is.
Oh,
no,
sorry,
she
she
has
is.
magic, she
She's
has
right.
magic,
Yeah,
but
she has some
you're
magic.
solely an individual. But
Yeah.
the thing about it is that you're kind of, while it was a high roll, it's not a high roll for me to tell you everything.
Yes. No.
Everything and anything. So it's a
I'd
case
have to
of-
have rolled a 20 plus my modifier. to
Sure.
do that, yeah.
So it's a case of you're kind of going. There's a link here. There's
Yeah.
something. I don't know why it's affecting her more than it's affecting me. Like maybe it's chance. Maybe it's the way it's reacting with her. You remember. You flash back to how you ended up this way, and it's from inheriting it from someone else after
Yeah.
you've killed them.
Yeah.
So it's like a mantle you've taken over, and they in turn. Ming-Na told you that they in turn killed somebody else to get it for them.
Yeah.
But they had, in the meantime, while they were being imbued with this power, were affected by a mind flare.
Yeah.
So it didn't fully take, and then they got turned to a feral animal.
Yeah.
So you don't know 100%, but Carabash is standing there looking at the tree going,
Can I ask her
Yeah.
a question?
yeah, of course.
Karabash, is there any way we can get another power source for this ship? I think what the twins are doing is affecting our friend and your friend. I think it's linked when the ship charged into power. We had a spike for both, and I don't think Ming-Na can take much more of this. Is there another energy source? Could we find one for you? Have people got sick before like this?
He kind of looks you up and down a bit. I need you to roll a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, look what she's gonna do. She's gonna do this.
Oh, digital.
Tick. Like a tick. Oh, dirty 20!
Okay. So he kind of looks you up and down and looks around the crew, and he's like, he picks up the captain, like up in his arms. He's a big dude, and he's holding the captain in his arms, and she's kind of flopped and lulled a bit, but her eyes are still wide open. And he kind of like, and reluctantly looks at her, like, everyone get back to your stations.
Oh.
And he kind of just growls at them, and then moves over to the three of you. I need the three of you to follow me now. And he starts leading the way back out through the corridor and up onto the deck. After about 2 minutes, so he comes out with the captain, and the crew are seeing this for the first time up on deck, and they're like, she'll be fine, get back to work. And he turns and leads you all towards the captain's quarters. And he kicks the door open, and the swings open, and he's like, close behind you, and brings her in and lays her down on like a couch or a chaise lounge that's kind of bolted to the deck at the back of the room. And he kind of covers her with a blanket, and he gently strokes her hair, and kind of like, should be okay.
Lopan just kind of hops up and kind of is like, you want me to like maybe get her like a hot like compress or maybe some like flat 7-Up or something. I wouldn't know that, something from the Feywild, but something similar like that. Like is there anything like I can do? Do you not have a doctor on this? And as I'm saying all this stuff, Lopan wants to have a look and see if there's anything from a medical side that he might spot that from the arcade from there. But he's totally giving everyone the impression that he's just in the way. But he wants to. He's kind of okay. That's a 10. But
there doesn't seem to be anything medically wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like you don't know much about magic, but from what you're looking at this guy, it's not like she's physically hurt. It just this all to me. To you, it looks like it's very much a magical thing.
It's not. No, that's why I was just like making sure that there isn't some kind of poison to this or anything. That's alright.
It doesn't look like there's any.
Like I can like
poisoned or.
Like, yeah. Do you want me to get anything like that? Like you know.
She'll be fine.
No, I believe you. Just
to rest.
Right. Well, I'll whisper then. I won't be any much more of an annoyance then. Like.
Darren, can you please just get your mug and point it to the camera what mug Lopan has for today?
Squirrel.
The closest we could find. I am on the look for a Lopan, but you know, I thought it was very fitting.
Yes.
I think he might be Lopan's cousin, maybe,
Or
or an uncle.
Okay.
You're not too sure.
Arbash is really feeling it. He's really going.
Yeah, because he's generally much more like he's boisterous, but he's chill.
Yeah, so he kind of as he sets her down and gets her comfortable, he kind of like, I think it's time you are told the full story of
Shit, son.
and you kind of you remember you had snuck into the quarters of the captain a while ago and you'd heard them talk about the previous crew of the ship.
Yeah, previous.
So he's like, this ship has a checkered past to a degree, and the captain and myself and the crew went the initial owners as such. And this thing, the brand, comes with the ship.
And Lopan, because he wouldn't keep it quiet. Did you nick this? Did you?
I nudged Lopan.
Well, sorry, steal. Sorry.
That is not a dirty word to me. We are pirates after all.
Just like, don't come across like you stole it. All right, nice.
We drive it like we do.
So the ship is essentially cursed.
No. What did the captain tell you of her father?
From what I remember, not much.
Even me, she hasn't divulged much information.
Her father is the head of a large pirate organization. He is a dangerous man.
Of course he bloody is.
And this ship used to belong to one of his highest lieutenants. The lieutenant and 5 of its followers were planning an uprising. And a hostile takeover of Shang-Yi's fleet. They had pledged themselves to a long-forgotten goddess of the shade, and these brands are her gift to them. The problem is, when we took the ship, it was in light of us defecting, getting out on our own. We had no clue what was planned, and we had no clue of this takeover. We thwarted it unceremoniously and unplanned. We didn't mean to do it, but we did. And while we were trying to take the ship, they tried to stop us. Mignar killed the dead lieutenant, and immediately was branded with their curse.
Oh.
Then Terran killed the second in command and was branded with the curse as well.
And that's who you are.
Would this be like some way of keeping you in check, like? You know, like if you like, because usually, you know, I'm not saying I did it, like, but usually when there's someone like, you know, in the way and whatnot, you know, you can get rid of them. But this, if you were to, and you knew that you'd get that curse and probably get all sick, you might not do it. Or am I totally like just grasping that
It imbues
daggers?
them with power.
Oh.
If you don't worship the goddess, it hurts you. But if you worship the goddess, you become more powerful.
I do not know.
Have you tried it? I'm just kidding. I don't
He
mean
gestures to his very muscular form. Clearly, I have not.
Yeah.
No brands at all on him
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No, I meant like Ming-Na, just like going to mass
She
a
has
couple of
been
times.
trying to find a way to get rid of it because this particular goddess is not one you wish to follow, really.
Can you name her?
Shar. S-H-A-R.
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Sarden.
I'm already hung up on Ming-Na's dad, so
Oh no way! You speak like Feywild as well.
Ming-Na's dad,
Awesome.
Shani.
Oh my god, have we just made Dublinese Feywild?
Oh, have you got it
from
from?
the start.
Have you not caught
That
that?
was
That's
the
where it is
whole
from.
bit.
The
That
accent.
was the whole bit.
Yeah.
Flat 7 Up, the pub, Tomo, they're all
Tomo the
Feywild things.
Minotaur, it's all from there.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a magical, mystical place
Yes.
for reals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talbot is the Feywild.
Well, only in the Feywild would they have a big building where people go that looks square shaped, but that looks pyramid shaped, but call it a square.
Yeah, the
Or
pyramid
this
valley.
square.
The Feywild doesn't make sense, so that's
No,
a start.
it doesn't,
Yeah.
So, Carabash kind of like, it was a confluence of events that no one kind of predicted. We tried to take the Silver Spear. We did take the Silver Spear.
Mm-hmm.
It is our ship now, but we did not know that this was a mantle that came with it. There are still 5 of these people out there. They escaped. During our attempted take of the ship, we were also set upon by mind flayers.
Oh.
That's never a good thing from what I heard.
So because 5 of the original crew escaped, the rest of the current crew don't have the markings that myself and Ming-Na have because they're
Yes.
still out there.
Yes.
So if we manage to catch up with those 5 and Ming-Na and I took them out, would that save the rest of the crew?
I do not know. I am not versed in these things. We are.
I appreciate that, Carabash. I'm throwing some ideas out there. I'm trying to make sure that this does not happen to anybody else.
I hit things. That is what I do.
I just watch out about doing that though yourselves. That's already inflicted with it because you could get double or triple sick.
Yeah.
The captain did. I don't know these things, but the captain. You can see for the first time that cool exterior that he kind of projected. He's kind of there's a worry about him. Like,
He loves her.
as much as a half orc could look worried to a degree, his gruff exterior and kind of like manly visage is very much a visage. It's gone because he is worried about his captain. And you see him kind of putting things together in his head. Now he's not stupid. Like he's not like a dumb I'm a barbarian. I hit things. He's clever, but it's like he has no clue about magic.
Yeah.
We are going to the Flotsum, to the city, and we do have friends there. And
With information.
they will help with this. We had hoped to stave off this, and he kind of gestures towards me now, until we got there, but the captain could feel the surges happening. Every time the ship does anything, the surge is unpredictable. Because the main reason the spear is so powerful is because of these imbued powers. You are the key to the ship being so powerful. And Ming-Na thought if she could turn it into her advantage. She doesn't believe in this goddess. She believes in the crew. She believes in me. She believes in us as a team. And we believe naively believe we could beat this together.
Have you considered flying the silver sphere into a mountainside?
At the mere suggestion of destroying the ship, he's like,
Right, well, the next thing I'm going to say isn't going to be as crazy, which is a first, but have you ever thought about like this Sharon, was it? Shah, right. So good to get her name right. But maybe kind of apologising, you know, saying it was a bit of a misunderstanding. Here's a little bit of gold. Maybe we'll do something for you, and you call it quits with the entire cursing us stuff.
I don't think you understand the gravity behind this.
I do. It stops me from going up.
Yes.
And he kind of stops for a second and twitches.
He took psychic.
Lopan is keeping a straight face. I thought I could. Sorry.
We believe that the reason why they were imbued with this power in order to take over the fleet was to give Shah the fleet.
Right. I was
35 Spelljammer ships.
That's a lot. It's more than 10. But I'm just saying, like, you know, you could come to some kind of arrangement, like, you know, not saying I've pissed off the head of an organisation or two, but it'd be amazing what a bit of gold and an apology and maybe a favour will do, you know. Worst, 5 years in prison, but, you know, who's not done any time?
Once again, I will remind you, pirate, I understand those things, but where we are going, we have friends who might help us.
All right, no, that's good.
But the problem is, if the fleet of Shenangans is in danger, one, I will not want to cross him. Two, somebody who does wish to cross him, they are either very ballsy or a fool. And only somebody who does that knows that they have the power to do it.
Until we get somewhere, I'm just gonna kind of park up near Megna, not annoyingly, not to get like hair in her face, but I'm just gonna. I've got my lute, and I'm just gonna do some gentle finger picking, nice melodic things. I don't know whether this fatigue can be helped with any cures or potions, but I presume I can't.
You can give it a whirl if you want. You can do whatever you want to do. There's no knowing what it could do to her.
Yeah.
But she looks comfortable.
Okay.
It's just that she's staring wide-eyed at the ceiling with bright green eyes.
Right. It suggests like Carabash has suggested the rest normally takes care of it. This is something you've seen many times. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it as it is, and I'll just play a nice little crowded house.
Nice. I thought you were going to go with the generic trope of, like, you know, cats purring is meant to be hearing.
Do you know Shara in Feywild is called Shazza?
Nice.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Yes. I think your players might be nonsense.
Yeah, it might be. So, the ship is going in front of the Carabash. Like, there is, we won't take long to get there. A day and a half. But there is something you need to know. And he looks directly at you.
Oh shit. He actually says that.
This brand, the crew know about it.
Yeah.
And the ship knows about it.
Huh?
If this brand is on you, you essentially gain command. And with Mingnar out of commission, the ship will only take orders from you.
I need you to do a Captain Phillips style. I'm the captain now. Can you do that?
I'm taking it. I'm just kind of like, when he says, like, the ship knows, it's like, are you saying, like, that the ship can talk?
In a way.
Can it see us?
In a way.
Like, all the time? As he gets really worried about, like...
In a way, the ship is in some aspect a living creature, and like
Farscape.
I don't know how much you know about spelljamming, but there are a plethora of ships, so many different types. There are your regular space galleons. There are ones that are built of organic matter. There are ones that are a mixture of the two. There are ones that are just metal, unceremoniously floating through space somehow. I don't know to understand most of it, but it's all arcane. And this particular ship with its imbued powers is essentially, on some level, alive.
All right, so it's not going to start blurting things out like or anything like that.
It hasn't yet.
All right, hasn't yet. Right. Take that on board. So start looking around.
But I say this to you now because until we get to the Flotsum, to the Bright City, you may have to command the twins at least. I will handle everything else. But if you need to give
Jill will handle the twins.
if you need to give commands to the ship to where it needs to go, it generally responds to your ability to lay on hands or divine its direction. The captain will generally have done this in the past. We got around it briefly, but it cost us 2 wizards. Like the little reps.
Have we already set a course for Flotsam?
Yes.
So, at the moment, the ship is heading the direction we need it to go,
Yes.
and you don't actually need me to do anything just yet,
not as
unless
of-
we run into trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed, unless that happens. As you've seen, we can get pulled out of travel very abruptly and unknown to us, and it can lead to some interesting situations. So,
Have you made sure to go and talk to the rest of the queue and make sure like that they're not some kind of like shape-changing monster that's going to just do that?
Yes, that was a bit of a sore spot. Bright Eyes was the recent commission, but the rest of the crew I trust with my
Oh,
life.
that's alright. No, he made a mistake. He said sorry, so you know.
He is a fool and he is in the brig.
Nice.
Best place for him. At this point, I'm still pretty wrecked from our last adventure, so you can find me in my bunk until you need me.
You are welcome to go back to your quarters, no problem. We do need to rest up, I'm sure. It was a trying time in that land, strange land. I will continue with the crew and its current shift, and they will get us to where we need to go. If anything happens, we will come find you, and I will attend to the captain.
Yeah, nice. I think a little bit of a power nap's be good.
Yeah, Zil, could I stay with you?
Fine.
I'll stay all the way.
So you're making your way back to your quarters.
Aye.
You had a communal quarters. It was together. You're
Yeah.
all together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
We were definitely in the same.
Yeah, there
I
was
don't
a
remember.
hammock. You were in a hammock, I think.
On a side note, do they have one of those? I can forget what the crow's nests.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
been
you've been in
in the
it.
crow's
Oh
nest.
yeah, I'm just double checking. It's been a while, right? So
It's been a while.
I have moved in. I have moved into the crow's nest.
Oh yes, you said
So,
this actually.
like,
You had said.
I
This
don't know.
before.
No, I can't remember. But like, that's not that I don't like sharing. It's just
That's where
it's
you're
my it's I'm up high, and that's where.
Yeah, I want to be near Captain Phillips, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
Sully, or whatever she ends up being.
So he flew the airplane. Captain Phillips was on the boat.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
difference.
like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
both took charge.
They were both
whenever they
fucking
needed
bars.
to.
Don't break it.
They were both on mics.
Yeah.
They were.
Go!
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Okay.
I
that's
haven't
so much
seen
better
Captain
now.
Phillips. I've seen the other one.
Very good, yeah.
I'm gonna be up there sleeping, keeping watch and whatnot.
Okay. Okay.
Like Forrest Gump in the terminal.
I actually thought you were gonna go with the Terminator, and here's me thinking,
Wow. Wow.
Forrest Gump.
that'd be.
Why is that on some fan edit on TikTok?
Oh, probably is.
Okay. So until you head back to your quarters, you were up in the crow's nest. Is there anything you want to do while you're back in the quarters? Is you want to have the chats or what's just on the table?
I'm going to I'm going to organize. I'm gonna have a rest, maybe organize my spells.
Z does need to sleep because drow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So drow just meditate. So I'm going to take this opportunity to try and do a deep meditation with my attuned crystal and see
Okay.
if that gives me any insights, enlightenments, way out of this fucking predicament.
Okay.
Or even just some like, I don't know, guidance on what to do if everything goes
Okay.
TU and we end up getting thrown out of space before we get to Flotsam.
Right. Okay. So you're gonna meditate.
I'm gonna meditate with my fancy amethyst.
Okay. Are you just going to sleep, or are you sorting your spell slots out in the corner?
Spells,
So
yeah.
you're off in the corner looking through your books. You're up on the crow's nest.
Yeah, just going fixing my weapons, not using them. Just making sure they're all good, ready to go, and I'm gonna get a long rest if I can.
Okay.
Can I interrupt for a second? When you say you're sorting your spells, you're not swapping out, are you? Well, you can't.
Yeah.
Certain classes.
Certain classes kind of, if they're in your known spell list, you can swap them out. So if you have a known spell list, you can change them out at the end of the day.
Oh, right.
Because they're your known spells. You just have to
They
prepare them
learned
for
that
the day.
day.
Yeah. Some are stuck
You
with
can't
them, I
switch in the
remember.
middle of like a battle.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
no, it's
so-
more like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I've read it and I've completely forgotten it, but I know I've done
We're learning
it.
as we go.
I've done it in the past, but never like swapped in the middle of battle. It was
No,
never
you
like,
don't do that in the middle. You know, it's like,
Yeah, no, it was more like.
Can we just sit here
It
for
was-
24 hours?
You know, it was a scene in Forrest Gump where he did just that. It's unrealistic boomer porn, I swear to God.
I'm just wondering, well, you can't do that, but what if you rolled a nat 20?
What?
Just a second there, like, you know, sorry, nat
Yeah.
20. No, but anyway.
Okay, so you sitting cross-legged on your bunk?
Yes.
Okay, so you're sitting cross-legged on your bunk, you put your hands around your crystal, and you close your eyes and stretch out your mind. Kind of trying to shut out the mutterings of Grey in the corner as he goes through his spell listings and kind of memorizing things and prepping for the days ahead or the day ahead. And eventually you just hear the hum of the ship as it ekes into your mind, and that strum of the energy is just zips through the void. It seems like a calming thing, and it definitely brings you down a bit, and you kind of start to sense, your senses start to stretch out. And again, like before, you see those nerve endings of the ship as a like green tendrils stretching out from stern to bow as the ship looks like a bundle of nerves and a collection, a cluster, and it just pulses, it pushes through the void. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yes. I'm like, will I do roll dice? What do I do with this?
Could you hear the click clacks?
Nice.
That's a nice. That was
conk
a 9.
9. You kind of, the calm descends upon you, but then from the back of your mind you feel this ripple of energy, kind of like as if you're the pebble that's dropped into the pond.
Yeah.
But the ripples start to flow back in towards you. And in your mind's eye, you're looking out, you can see the horizon of the void. And the darkness starts to shimmer into a large, cloaked shape. Slowly but surely, it's like smoke forming as this hooded head kind of comes up over the horizon, as if the ship is zipping straight towards it. And you see the hood is down over this feminine form. You see the kind of the pinched, pointed chin and the tight, black-lined lips, as you just see it come into focus, and it just turns its head slightly. Well, who might you be?
Oh shit, she sees me.
And you feel this voice, as slight and calm as it is, it pierces right through you.
Yeah.
And you feel the brands burn. And there's no physical pain, it's just that sense of warmth starts to pick up.
Yeah.
And your mind's representation of yourself, as you're sitting there in the void, there's just a greenish glow around you. And the head moves in close, and you see a large hand that seems to be made up of starlight just kind of move through the void towards you as it reaches in. And just as it's about to touch you, you just hear another voice from behind you say, "Don't you dare. She belongs to me." As large spindle spider arms stretch out and meet the hand.
Hey, love.
Oh my God.
And the hand withdraws itself, and you're left, as you turn, you see the large Drider form of Love rear up behind you and stare down what you believe to be Shar. Shar kind of pulls herself back
she's like, well, it looks like we have ourselves a game. And you blink awake and you're like, and Gray, you look up as it's only been seconds, seconds, but Zilzara is coated in sweat. And she's like,
So what's up?
Oh, this is a goddess game of cat and mouse. I think I saw Shar. And she's not happy that I have another goddess on my side.
Oh my god. Your ex has come back to be possessive all of a sudden. That's unfortunate. That's crazy. Do you... I'm
Kim,
sorry.
I can't believe I'm going to say this.
It's
Louder.
Yeah. Kim's loud. Gray's quiet. Okay.
Yeah. We have microphones that need to be able to hear
It's
people.
true. Hey, so I never asked you about Loth before. I know about Loth from other people. Is it are you connected to them a lot?
Not a lot, but when it comes to this new big bad that Karabash has said we're up against, Loth has claimed me. So I don't think she's going to allow Shar to get the upper hand on us without a fight.
Who's your money on?
Oh, my homie Loth.
Can you leave Loth's religion, really? It's
Not
right.
really. Like, I guess for us Drow, Loth is the default. She's, and you know, you've encountered her followers in the past. Everybody's familiar with Loth to a degree, and if they haven't met her followers, they know them by reputation. My parents, much to my horror and embarrassment, my parents did not raise me in the following of Loth. My father had a very traumatic experience as a young man, and as a result is incredibly arachnophobic.
Oh.
So naturally, he was shunned by the rest of the family. It's mortifying having a dad who's afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
Anyway, the connection is still there. She still watches over me. I really got into it when I was a rebellious teen, you know, because
And you gotta.
you gotta know your parents somehow.
Yeah, the generation gap is sacred.
But now, having had this encounter, I'm kind of glad that connection is still there.
Yeah, it's good to have
Because-
a bigger friend.
Well, sounds like we could use all the help we could get, even if that help comes from a nefarious source. And one. Well, you see, the thing is, though, we don't know who this Shar is.
No.
Loth, better the devil you know.
Yeah.
And we kind of know that she's tricksy and false. But I think I've got a handle on that.
Is she gonna make demands of you if she helps you?
Bitch can try.
Right. Yeah, I've never heard of Shar before, which suggests that her following is smaller, or it's just otherworldly and off planet, and I just haven't been.
Well, you can
Up
give
here
me you can
before?
give me a religion check if you want to know if you know anything about Shar.
Let's do that. Oh. Yeah, because
Sorry, as a Gundam fan,
I've been
I
around.
don't know if it's doing for you, but
Yeah.
Shar.
I And it's not. I shouldn't write because it's totally different. I think it's totally different.
Oh, it is. It is.
I'm trying not to use me a little bit of our character.
Very nice. I got a 9.
19.
Okay. One second. So, with 19, he's like, yeah, you know a bit. You've heard a bit about Shar, and it's spelled Shar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing about Shar is that she is a goddess of darkness and night, malevolent, and the twin counterparts to the goddess of the moon, Saloon, whose temple you went into, the tower that was above
Yeah.
the city that you
Full
went
of
into.
shadows. Yeah.
Filled with shadows, so that was part of the temple of Saloon.
I didn't actually know.
At least I think it was. Part of it anyway, or a corrupted version of it. With a 19, you know that Shar was responsible for an event called the Spell Plague.
Yeah.
And the Spell Plague basically destroyed magic for a large swath of time. And Shar was the main cause of it. Or the supposed main cause of it. Where she allowed for basically the goddess of magic to be murdered. She arranged for that goddess to be murdered, which ended up with the entirety of the elemental plane being destroyed, and the spell weave, which controls magic, was Char's goal was to take control of it. And because Char had the goddess of magic killed, the spell weave fell apart. She couldn't control it, which led to her basically losing her ability to control shadow magic. That weave was also destroyed. And there's other stuff as well, but with a 19, that's pretty much all you can remember.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna relay that to Gray.
Very good.
Yeah, so there's a bit there for the story of Shar. There's like that's what you know of it, but now it seems to be that from what Carabash told you, the crew were involved with her in some way, and now you've had a vision of her.
So Shar is no joke. I mean, I know Olaf is huge, but Shar seems to be a worthy adversary.
Yep.
Did you deliberately choose the two gothiest things in the world to fight over Jill?
There's a lot of gothy stuff in D&D. That's not just me.
If you're a drow, Loth is but it's
Yeah.
That is it, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like, it's just there's a lot of the goddesses of darkness and stuff. They essentially, it looks like the lineup of Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, like, you know, hey now. What's all I can say? Yeah. So, do you just want to have your long rest? What do you want to do at this point? Is there anything Lopan wants to do?
Well,
these two are.
Particularly after that.
Yeah.
After finding out a little bit of knowledge, like so Lopan's going to sleep. He's got his blanket up. He's like, you know, kind of trying to close his eyes. Doesn't work. Something's troubling him. He turns, you know, and then he just kind of opens his eyes and goes, right, like, if you are listening and watching, right, like, I apologize, all right. I didn't know you were sentient. I didn't know you were watching. I just, you know, needed to go. I just thought, you know, everyone's done it at least once over the side, so I did. Now, I didn't know that this thing called gravity, it was going to go all the way around and hit your man in the head, all right? And I should have apologized, but I kind of did what I did and just went downstairs. So, like, you know, yeah. So, like, it's out now. You don't need to tell anyone. I'll throw a couple of gold to your man. Like, anyway, right, night. I just go to sleep.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Okay.
Throw some gold.
Gonna use me good old.
Piss man.
Oh no. Yeah, that is what that is now. My persuasion. No. Alright, that's a 6.
6. The part of the crow's nest that you're in, it just all of a sudden starts to feel a little bit colder than it did before. And you just have a little bit of trouble getting off to sleep because you're chattering a wee bit.
I feel like it's like Lopan being what he is and who he is, he feels like as if like he's not been forgiven, and he's like, yeah, right, well, you know, I'll do my best, you know, to make it better, like, apology, like, just after a bit of sleep, like, bollocks.
I love the idea now of the ship just fucking with Lopan. Consistently.
Well, it's Lopan's thinking this, and then it's like in the back of his mind, someone whispers, "But what if it's a ghost?" And he's like, "Balls!" So Lopan doesn't get much sleep. If you can, he does, but it's just
You
like
get your long. I'm gonna let you get your long rest because there's nothing worse than not
But
that happening. But you're not. You don't feel 100% rested.
it's either haunted, or it's sentient, or it's both. So,
Yeah, a haunted sentient ship.
oh God, I didn't even go there. Yeah.
Okay, so you all get your long rest.
Yeah.
So pull back any HP or slots or whatever the hell you need. And I'm gonna say you actually get a good sleep. You actually sleep a bit later than normal.
Nice.
And Lopan, you still wake up a bit groggy because you're like, oh jeez. And a good 8-9 hours have gone past. And the breakfast bell is rung and the crew are going about their normal thing. And everything seems to be quite normal on the ship. There hasn't been much of a panic. Like there are a few hush whispers here and there. Now what are the group doing first thing? What do you want to do?
I'll go and see how you guys are.
Yeah. I'll find some food.
Are all you three you're going to get food?
Yeah.
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 As much as Z normally likes a longer lie-in than everybody else.
Not feeling it at the moment.
Not feeling it, and the encounter with Shar has slightly damaged her calm, which doesn't take a lot, to be honest, because she's very short fuse. But yeah, she's up and with Gray and looking to get some food, but also looking to find out how Mingna was after spending the night, probably in the same situation we left her in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I'll hop over to them like and I go, "Did you have a good night's sleep, did you?" I know, it's bloody drafty, isn't it?
No, I need to fill you in on some things over breakfast.
No worries, it's always a good, it's the usual really. Are you feeling alright, like, you know? You haven't floated up in the air again, have you?
No, but I have a little bit more information about our adversary, Shar. And I suppose, actually, do you know what? I'll tell you now while we're on our way to the mess hall, and I fill him in on my little encounter.
And Lopan doesn't really understand religion. He's like, right, I'm just going to be honest. I hope there isn't a test, because I know I'm sharp, but that literally went over me. But right, so we're dealing with maybe-ish an enemy that's God related, but you have a buddy that's a god, but not a god. Who is a god, but not a buddy, right? Ish.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, Lopan.
Then
Listen,
I wrote that down, right? Just to be on the safe side, because I know I'm going to forget.
Tell you what,
In book.
when I point and tell you to attack something, I've got. Do you know what? I've got your back.
Grand.
And if you have mine, then as well, I think we'll be okay.
I would say is like next time I see someone that gives me, you know, like bad vibes and is wearing all black, I'll fire at them. But like that could be
As
some
long
of
as
our
it's not
mates
me.
as well. Well, I was gonna say it could be some of our mates as well. So like, you know, but you point, I'll shoot. Usual.
Are you checking on Mingna first before the mess hall, or what's he going to do?
I presume Mingna's been well looked after by Carabash, so at the risk of annoying them anymore.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna head to the mess hall and see are they there first, kind of get
Okay.
ourselves right, and then if they're not, if everybody's not in the mess hall, that we can
And-
catch up with them afterwards.
And if she's not there, like we can take her like a takeaway fry. That's always deadly. I remember I wake up sick. Takeaway fry's the best. So.
What goes into a takeaway fry for rabbit folk?
Well, you see, here's the thing, like, you know, just because I'm a rabbit doesn't mean that I don't like the odd bit of meat, like, you know. A couple of rashers, you know, some, you know, like Air Genasi burgers, you know, because they're like,
Nazi burgers?
they're fried by, they're not made out of, like, Air
I was about to
Genasi.
ask if they made
No,
it.
they're just, it's apparently, I asked that, believe it or not, he said what they were called after I took a bite, and that was awkward as fuck for a bit. But, like, then it was because they're fluffy. And they float, you see.
Okay.
So that's it. So, you know, actually, I might start with explaining that if someone ever asks me. But yeah, that, and like, you know, bit of green on the side, just like, you know, like trying to, you know, kind of go. You know, you're going into a dexterous mission, you know. Bit of green's
carrot
always
juice,
good.
of course.
Oh, of course, like, you know, a couple of Feywild carrots. Oh, mwah.
Are there?
No.
Do you get purple carrot juice? when
Like,
you
the
take
weird
one?
thing is to catch them because they're really fast at running. But like, you know, like. You can lower them into a false sense of security, you know. If you have a couple of other carrots around you, they might think you're one of them. Then you sneak up to a group of them and BAM!
Feywild carrots. Feywild's trippy, yo.
Oh, totally, like, you know.
Trippy.
All the plan, like, is kind of alive and so is the veggies. Like so far, I haven't yet to see.
You're a carnivore no matter what you eat.
I haven't seen a moving steak yet, but I've been told that there is a place in the Feywild where everything is living food. So it's very embarrassing.
Rock around, it's trippy.
But like there's talk of this Donald barbarian guy, but like I got art drawn, which I'll show you later, but I don't have it on me. But anyway, yeah, weird place, and I've only been like I think once.
Am I gonna have to make a Donald Barbarian character now?
You better draw him.
There was a Kickstarter for these group of people that were gonna, and I jumped on it because it's me, that are doing their entire campaign and all. I didn't read much into it because the artwork sold me. Everybody there plays living food. So there is a donut barbarian with a chunk taken out. There's weird looking priest pizzas. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm so gonna use this. So yeah, we next year, you never know. I'll give you the what's it called?
If the group ever go to the Fable now, just
Monster Manual. Just added craziness. But that's what I've heard of it. But Tomo tends to be an exaggerator, you know.
So you make your way to the mess hall while all this is going on, and it's busy as usual, but you don't see Carabash anywhere, and there is chatter here and there. You hear people mention the captain, and kind of like they're not trying to hide it. They're asking like any word on the captain, so on and so forth, and people saying, "Oh, I think she just fell and she just collapsed from exhaustion," that type of stuff. Like this seems to be the tale that's being spread, but some of the crew do seem to know. Are well aware, and when you all three of you come down, they all see you, and some of them especially give you a nod, as if respectful nod, and they kind of see, and then there's plates given up for whatever you want. The Griff chef is still there; he's plating up all the food, and he sees you all approach him. And he starts dishing up whatever's available and hands it over to you. So I'll find a seat somewhere, no problem. Yeah. And then he goes about, keeps on working away. There's hot coffee and other juices. And stuff. It's a full-on continental breakfast.
Griff, is the captain been down yet? Actually,
no.
Right, we're going to be seeing her after we eat. So can I take some of this to go? And again, it's not for me.
No, we had the captain. We had stuff brought to my cabin.
Daddy, no, that's all right then.
It's all good. It's all sorted. Carabash sent an order down this morning.
Wouldn't harm for me to just bring extra just in case,
Sure. Yeah.
That one is for him.
And he kind of gets a wooden bowl and covers it with a kind of a half clean tea towel with a bit of food in it and hands it to you. And it's fresh. It's warm.
I've got a big grin kind of going.
Yeah.
Extras.
And he just goes back to it. So, you're sitting in the mess hall. Is there anything in particular you want to do here? You just want to grub up?
I'm just gonna grub up, and I'm gonna from time to time just throw an eye at Zill and see how they are doing.
Oh yeah, Lopan is pretending like he doesn't know, but he is also he does worry about
this overly attentive friends. Are y'all right? Are y'all right?
But I know I'd get swatted if I actually did that. I'm keeping it pretty low key.
She's like, oh my god.
I put out a little damp towel and just kind of just slide it over there in a bit of Feywild 7 up flat, just randomly beside you.
Feywild 7 up.
Just out there,
Yeah.
I imagine that every so often she's gonna let rip with it. I'm fine, okay.
I told you I'm fine.
He's like, yeah. Whenever that happens, the crew kind of look over and stop and. And after a second or two, they go back to their food.
Oh, that's for everyone. Anyone can have it.
So you are finishing up in the mess.
Yeah.
What do you want to do after this?
I would like to go to find Carabash and Lena.
Okay. You are kind of even just with Griff, the Griff chef, whose name I forget. His name is not called Griff. He's a Griff, which is the species. So he's basically a space hippo. I can't remember what I called him.
Can we call him Griffin?
You can, yeah. His name is Colin. That's
Colin
it.
now.
It's Canada. His name is Colin. You're fine. That the food was brought to the captain's quarters, so you kind of assume that's where they are, and they haven't left.
Yeah.
And you make your way up. The door is closed. You can't really hear anything on your side. Just one of us knocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's knocking, the door opens, and it's Carabash. He's like,
Oh, good morning. Come in. And you look over, and the captain is still in the same position that she was in beforehand, but now you notice that her eyes are closed, and you straight away notice that the arcane energy emanating off her is lessened, but there's still a hum. There's still a definite but she's out cold. She's sleeping. It's like she closed her eyes around 4 hours ago, and the heat, the energy that I could feel, even I could feel it coming off her, seems to have gone. So she is just resting really now, and you can see the plates are on. Is that the captain's table has kind of one plate piled with food, and then another one, smaller one, or that Carabash is cleaned off.
Oh, he has eaten. So
he's
eaten.
Yeah.
Usually the warriors don't eat.
Yeah.
So
He's an orc barbarian. You gotta keep the energies up.
Yeah.
Warriors or warriors?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. So he's eaten, and the captain is sleeping. So we have about 4 hours until we arrive. So we can bring her to see the brothers. You obviously haven't been to the Flotsum before. You don't know what to expect. It's essentially the hub of commerce, and think of if pirates unionized. That's essentially what it is. It's a commune of pirates, but to a level of where we're self-regulating. We live by our own accords, and not so much a kind of honor, but definitely one of self and mutual benefit. It is an interesting place. We tend to dock to get supplies. We have a few friends there. Just be ready for anything. It can present itself as a bit of a shock to those who've never been.
Okay.
But we are going to see the brothers. They are an interesting duo. Not really brothers. Everyone calls them Cog and Sprocket. But they have a special knowledge of these type of things, and have helped build many a Spelljammer, with enchantments and pots and helms even. So they would have a better idea of the essence of the ship, and what this, and he kind of gestures to both yourself and the captain at the same time. So
speaking of what this is, Grey Lopan, I think Carabash has been open with us, and it's considered a friend of us. Got to fill him in on my vision last night.
okay.
Yeah.
So Z explains her meditation and the encounter with Shar, and also the backup, the backup she got from Lol, celestial backup. To bring him fully up to speed and let him know that the stakes are obviously higher, and there's more involved, than we initially thought.
He sits down for this, and it's funny to see somebody of his frame in the captain's, like, not the captain's chair, but the chair at her desk, which is more for somebody Mingna's size, and he's kind of sits in it, and his broad shoulders kind of engulf the back of the chair, and he sits there and he kind of looks around. He's like, so if I might ask, she didn't know who you were.
Shar?
Yeah.
No.
She didn't know that you carried this.
She tried to reach out to me. So I don't know that she recognized who I am. She certainly, my tattoos, I could feel the heat of them while I was meditating. And I don't think she would recognize me, as in my face. She knew there was something connected to her. She tried to reach out to me and swiftly got battered away by love.
So you have a deity. And he looks at the captain. The captain doesn't believe in the gods.
Perhaps that is what's helping my markings stay at bay.
He kind of sits back, kind of contemplating this news.
I've been told they're a lot more trouble than they're worth, like, so, you know, she's not the only one that does, well, not that doesn't believe in those, has nothing to do with them.
Oh, they're a pain in the hole.
Yeah. Like,
Agreed. Interesting. This will be good information to have for the brothers to investigate.
Also, just like on a side note with information, I would recommend it, like unionizing, you know, like you mentioned it there, that it's as if the Pirates Guild were unionized, you should try, like the Assassins Guild did it a couple of years ago, and like naturally,
no, we have guilds. It's a thing. It's so the way the Flotsum works is there's a council, 2 years term, you're elected, all the captains vote, so on and so forth. There is, and the crew of the elected captains for the 2 years, while they're not out in the void, must serve as the city guard. The Red Shields is what they're called. It's a term. We've never been called up because Captain Zingy doesn't adhere to this belief. It's one of the many reasons why we were trying to get out of from under his strong hand. So there is definitely guilds, and there are definitely groupings, and not so much laws, merely suggestions of don't do that.
oh, I like that kind of thing.
It was chaos to begin with, I'm told. It's been like this for hundreds of years, but now it's settled and it's quite successful, and it is a buzzing hub of commerce for the likes of us. But it moves, you see. It's not in one place. It's not stays in one place. It's a moving city.
No, I get
throughout the void.
What?
Like it's not so much. It's not like this ship or anything. It moves slowly and can move at speed if required. It's strange, actually. And he kind of stops for a second. Nobody knows what is at the heart of the city that drives it. Not that I know, but it's a power. Interesting stuff. If you're into that type of thing, again, I don't claim to know a lot about it.
Power in center of moving city. That's what he got from it.
I believe maybe speak to some of the crew or the brothers might be able to help you. They're very knowledgeable in this type of thing. Again, I hit things. And you kind of get this idea from Carabash that he's playing up the whole barbarian thing, that he is actually smarter than he lets on, but he just doesn't want people to know it.
Yeah.
He just wants the people to assume big dumb orc hits things, that's it. But he is clever, and he is wily, and he plays it off as that he isn't.
I
get that. I understand that. I understand doing that, like, yeah.
Ended up with a low bad minute.
Yeah,
Shit.
work. God damn it.
So, I think for now we just let the captain rest. We'll be there within a couple of hours, and then we can go see the brothers, and that will give us. Then we'll at least they'll be able to help us.
Yeah.
And hopefully she'll be awake by then.
On another note, Carabash, like, you were saying, like, again, like yourself, the captain doesn't worship any deities. Is that, like, I've forgotten, like, it feels like it's been ages, but, like, there isn't any, like, holy priest type guy on the ship, isn't there not? Or is there? I forget.
Well, some of the crew have their beliefs. I
But no,
guess.
like, you know, point at
Strong beliefs.
Look,
Like, I'm kind of saying, like, you know,
I listened and said nothing
Yeah.
while you were talking about barbarians being typecast, and I didn't say, you know, as a barbarian, when you do that thing you do, I just let that go.
Yeah.
I let that go, and in she comes, like a 90s missile.
Yeah.
Hey, I was a 90s routine more. Sorry, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Oh,
Sorry.
good God.
it's allowed. But, like, stop.
I don't think pirates really have like chaplains.
Oh, there are. Oh no, that's a common misconception. There are full ships of devout pirates.
Oh.
Specifically, it's what they do. They go around raiding, spreading their good word, and conscripting any converts into their crew, basically replacing anyone they may have lost in the raids. It's a thing. And there also are full-on spelljamming houses of worship that go out there and force. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a believer.
They're aggressive conversion.
Aggressive conversion, not my thing.
Oh, interesting.
It's all well and good going in, give me your gold, fine, you know where you stand with that. But somebody bringing their beliefs to you, not really my deal.
Right.
I'm only interested in aggressive money transfers. That's it.
That's kind of what, yes. I mean,
but, like, that's
we
the,
try.
I wouldn't go that far. Like,
it's one of the reasons why we wanted to get out from under Ming-Na's father. His raids were excessive.
No, it was just like, because I just was curious, because like I know you've got like loads of spellcasters, but I know that there's they're great for when you're hungover, but like they do other things as well, like, and they talk directly to the man upstairs or one upstairs, depending on who you believe in. Thing upstairs or sometimes underground as well. But yeah, just was curious, did you have one on board? Like, so you don't, so.
The crew, there are some crews that have the beliefs, they believe in certain deities, but not everyone. We don't frown upon it. People believe what they want to believe. Just don't ram it down other people's throats, really. Is
no, I totally understand. But like, no, just was curious. Like, I've seen everyone, but I haven't seen I think they're called priests, clerics.
Clerics. We had a cleric once. Yeah, it didn't end well. But that was because they got eaten by a dragon.
That'll do it.
Like they thought they were protected. Yeah, didn't last.
They're told to focus on healing and they just charge in.
Yeah. Support roll.
They go in with 2 daggers and they're like, please don't.
So
I got caught in the Saturday week.
And Carabash is going to be just places. I think it's just a case of waiting now. We just wait. If the captain wakes before we get there, great. If she doesn't, we have to bring her like this. I can carry her in. But I think the main thing is we stick together when we get to the port. This ship will be quite conspicuous. People, the Silver Spear usually travels with Captain Zingy's fleet. And it is a recognizable ship. So there might be some questions asked.
So people don't know that you've nicked this off Shang-Yi?
Unless the word has traveled very fast. We only stole the ship a month ago.
Oh.
That's what I was about to ask. Why so still hot? Would you not think of spray painting it, like, you know, or painting it, or whatever it's called, like a different colour, like maybe?
We were a bit busy with everything, the running and the coming to find
And the tattoos
you and
stuff.
and then it was the fractal in the void, and it has been a lot.
Then I turn to the wall and go, that's if you want to be painted, like, you might be happy the way you are, but like, you know, just saying, like, you know, less heat for now, and you can always like go back to your original colour. Like,
It just kind of feels, I get it, we can kind of hang on to things, it just kind of feels like this ship curses people, is very recognizable, has a vicious ex-owner, and, you know, I probably be leaving in a Tesco car park.
some people would call
Tesco
that
is a
character,
big
but like, you know.
Well, it's one of the fastest ships going, one of the fastest spelljammers going, and it is very powerful. And it didn't always have this curse thing. It was a ship before that happened. It's now been like, seemingly, again, I don't know a lot about these things, but the ship was a ship before all of this happened. And it was the fastest ship in the fleet before all of this happened. But then this got associated with it and linked in with it. The curse is on you and on the captain and on the ship. We want to observe it of all of it, not just you, not just the captain, but also the ship.
So if just a quick question before we get to where we're going, what is your and Ming-Na's vision? What would you like? What kind of thing would you like to be running if we get rid of all this curse and you just got this fast ship?
Well, we're pirates.
Mission would you like? Yeah.
We're pirates.
What would you like to trade in?
Well, I mean, we would become part of what the city is officially. she would be a voting captain on the council.
Okay.
That's the wish. With joining the city with the Flotsum, there's a certain level of security. Right now, we don't have that.
Security is always good.
Carabash, given the fact that you requisitioned this ship
I
from
like that
its
word.
previous owners, and 5 of those are still out there, and they were going to defect from Chinese army anyway, what is the likelihood that we encounter them in Flotsam?
Well, no, we won't see them there.
You sure? I'm just trying to,
Well-
think what potential variables might come up while we're here.
So the one part I didn't get to cover when I spoke of the situation was I told you we were attacked by mind flayers.
Yes. We met you shortly afterwards.
The mind flayers were part of their resistance crew. They tried to take the captain and Darren, who eventually obviously died. But the mind flayers were there and they attacked us when we tried to take the ship. And then the 5 fled with the flayers. And there are 4 ships. So, if we are to find them and end them, like you suggested, we would be going up against 4 other ships.
Okay.
And I don't think this is a small thing. They wouldn't be trying. They tried to take the fleet, 35 ships. That's part of a bigger plan.
Oh, based on what I saw last night, this is a cosmic plan, dude.
Yes.
Are your crew able for things like this? Do they fight? I mean, of course they fight, they're pirates, but would they be ready for a battle with 4 other ships, one after another? I mean, if we're lucky, it's one after another.
The things we have seen in the void, we are ready. We have seen a lot.
Well, we're here too.
I could go into the Blade Runner montage.
I was
that's where my
literally,
head
but I
went.
was just like, I was in my head. That's where I was. With like, attack ships on fire, the gates of Orion. No, the things I have seen in the void. We are a well-seasoned crew, and we can help, but we need reinforcements.
Yeah, that's a 4-to-1.
Yeah.
You're looking at. You're definitely going to need help.
So getting into this like guild, do that, wouldn't it? Because like there's other ships there. Like.
We know the captains. We know some of their crew. We have friends in this port, and they would be happy to take another ship, but they may not be happy to go up against Xing Yi. But it sounds like Xing Yi has his own problems right now.
And like he's like just thinking what I'm saying what I'm thinking, but like how difficult would be to take Xing Yi out of the I'm just presuming that's what you said about him, like out of the equation.
Very.
Damn. Alright. Just making sure no one has already thought about it. You know?
Well, considering his daughter is as formidable as she is, I wouldn't be sleeping on her dad. Phrasing. But, I wouldn't underestimate her father.
No, it's just, that's why it's good. It just might not occur to some people, and now that's off the list. If there was a list, it's gone now.
People have tried to take out the captain a lot over the years. And he now has their ship and their crew.
Oh.
And their heads mounted on his throne, on his flagship.
Ah, nice guy.
Scary, but I bet you pounds. But
Oh, he treats them. It's a thing. He does a shine and takes their eyeballs out.
I've always wondered about that.
It's just skulls, loads of skulls.
It's nice to have a reputation, but like cleaning is
It's impressive. I've seen it many a time. It's impressive in imposing scares the shit out of you when you're kneeling. It gives off that thing he wants.
There was a time where I thought about like mounting them behind me just to get rid of the cuteness, but
We did that in my clan once. It was a thing. It was a trend when I was a teenager. Mounting the heads of your
Did you
enemies.
get the dripping? Like,
It's ponged after a while. Hence the treatment.
it's horrible to
thing.
get
Yes,
rid
it's
of,
not
but like that's why I decided to lean into the cuteness. It allows them a false sense of security, like
I
you know,
see.
and bam,
Ah,
you know. But,
interesting.
Well,
I can't really do that.
I don't know, like it's amazing what a good teacher will do for you. Like it's all the way you carry yourself.
I could.
But we can talk
I
about
could
this.
come off as cute.
You could do it. You could lower them and then like bam with the I don't know, what's your weapon of choice?
Generally a blade.
Deadly. So an axe, bam. You could put it behind their back and they wouldn't know. You're scratching your back, being don't mind me. Just, yeah. Tell you. Well, we can talk about this. You know?
It's
Well,
a
yeah,
choice. It's a choice.
I believe in sharing skills and whatnot. Like there's a few like I don't know how this ship works, so we can kind of I could teach a few things and you can help me out. Maybe give me a better player hat.
Oh, we have hats.
Awesome.
Lopan behaves like he's your height.
Oh.
He's powerful.
Hang on,
Okay.
what?
He's got
Are you
skills.
saying I'm short? Oh no, we didn't know I was that only messing. I know I'm short. See what I mean? Like bam, I scared. People thought I was being serious there. Like you know,
It is quite imposing.
lowers them into false sense of security. Then bam.
Right. Yes. I'm going to. Oh my god. Kim has just drawn
The donut.
a donut. The donut of
Barbarian
doom.
donut.
I don't know if you can
10.
see it. The light is. There we go. Yeah, down. There we go. There it is. You can just about see it. Yeah.
One of beefy arms on there.
Yeah. It says my daughter has a book called The Donut of Doom. It's about a giant kaiju donut that eats a city.
That's shaped like a donut.
It's a donut. So he's probably, if there's nothing else he's want to do, you spend the next couple of hours attending to Captain Migna. She's just asleep,
Just
snoring in the corner. Carabash, there's food brought up, anything you need, and within a couple of hours, then there's a knock on the door, and one of the deckhands sticks their heads in. And says, we're about 10 minutes out, according to the twins. And he's prep yourselves. And Carabash feels like the captain is still asleep. She's still out cold, and he starts to prep her and wraps her up in a blanket and kind of props her up and gets her ready to move. Mm-hmm. And then you can sense it. The ship starting to slow, and then it comes out of warp.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you hear like the cheers on the deck, and a few people, really, the shouts and stuff like that. And he's making your way out, or what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're Dynasty the city.
So you step out onto the deck, and the sight that awaits you is not like anything you've ever seen before. It takes you a while. It takes a while for your heads to adjust to it, your brains to adjust to it, because it doesn't make sense. So you come in kind of from its left hand side as you see what looks like a huge globe made up entirely of crashed ships.
That is
Oh
not
my
what I was
God.
expecting.
It's like a hodgepodge of, so it's called the Flotsum and the Jetsam, so that would be the debris and everything that comes off old ships. So it's basically a huge spherical shape that has all these juts and kind of lines coming out of it at weird angles, and even at the distance that you're at, you can see people milling about, and you can see kind of, it's strange because it doesn't make any sense to your brain, but the exterior and what look like docks that you can see ships flying into, because this thing is fucking huge, massive, like it's basically like a small planet. It's no moon, but it's like a small planet, and it's just made up of all of this debris, and you can see other debris. It's like it's constantly has this. Think of all the debris that's in space at the moment around the Earth, all the recycled space stuff. It's got that kind of ring of it around it that's kind of just slowly rotating around the exterior of it. And you can see metal, wood, organic material, just all jutting out at different angles. There's lights everywhere. There's life teeming with it. All the people look like ants that are scurrying across the surface. And it seems to have this obvious arcane shield around it as it hangs there in the void. And there are ships. You're not the only ship that's coming in. You can see ships coming out of travel, and they're slowly making their approach. And there is, on the deck, there are a couple of deckhands who have the signaling signs, and they're like this
and you can see that the ship is being lined up and has found a port, and you can see blinking lights that are synchronized with these two guys with their paddles, and the ship starts to turn and move towards the dock. And as it starts to pull into the dock and the debris around you looms in larger, you're just shaded by this vast size of this entire globe. You see other ships, galleons. They look like huge space galleons with proper sails that are floating by, completely different to the Silver Spear. You see ones that look like insects, like large bulbous kind of like view screens at the front with wings stretched out at the back that seem to fold in themselves as they come into port. Ships that are flying out and leaving port. Ones that look like huge giant snail shells that have kind of large tendrils floating at the front of it. Like a smorgasbord of different shapes and sizes. And again, it's like your minds are like, what the fuck? And you see people in the ports milling about, kind of getting deck ropes ready and kind of throwing them to deckhands who are pulling it in, and the ship is getting pulled into dock. And Carabash comes out of the captain's quarters with the captain in a blanket, kind of nestled up against him. She looks like a giant sleeping baby. He's just carrying her in his large arms. And the crew see her for the first time. They're like, oh fuck. And they hear her calls, is she okay? Is she okay? And Carabash like, go back about your work, she's fine. And he just gives them a nod, and they listen to him when they go about it. You notice the people as you get closer to where the dock is, because it just looks like it's a floating dock in space, and it's multi-tiered. So you have one you're at, and then about a couple of 100 feet above you, you see another ship pulling in into another dock that feeds down into a roadway system, and it's all feeding in. And there's other ones on the other side, so it's like they're all slotting in, and they're all at different, because like up and down doesn't have any meaning in space. Yeah. So they're all at different angles, and gravity seems to be working within their spheres that they're just pulling into these areas and disembarking or embarking on, and the ship's constantly coming and going. You do know that a lot of them are brightly coloured. They're flying different types of flags. You don't recognise any of them because you've never seen this type of stuff before. Think of those old 70s sci-fi space paintings where you have the checkered ships that are all black and white checkers and they're all weird bulbous shapes. That type of stuff is what you're seeing. Right. And it's crazy and beautiful and weird all at the same time. And as you pull in, the ropes are pulled up, and you see like when they get pulled up onto the deck and tied in, it's like an arcane tether kicks in, like a boom, and they straighten and get taut, and you just slowly start to get pulled in and slotted into place on the dock. And the gangplank extends out from the Silver Spear, and Carabash turns and nods to you, like, follow me. And he just starts to quickly move off the boat.
One little thing that Lopan we've tried to do, as soon as you mentioned there's pirate hats. Since we're going to a pirate port, I don't want to stand out, even though I am going to stand out. I'm getting myself a pirate hat, I'm getting myself an eye patch if I can find it.
Sure.
Kind of like pirate clothes to look like a stereotypical pirate. That is going to stand out, but I'll be in rally gear, so I'll stand out even more if I can.
They might feel like they're being parodied a bit.
Yeah, I think Marty McFly in Back to the Future 3 when he dressed like he thought a cowboy would dress.
So if it totally turns out to be not the way they're dressed, even better.
Yeah.
Because he would have done that little like hop.
Sure.
He would have noticed it. It would have been all calculating.
We'll say in the time you guys, in the 3 hours that you were taking for it to get to this point, you went down to the hold with a crew member and you found clothes that you thought would be befitting of a pirate, which it looks like you went to Disneyland and got their version of a pirate. So you're like red stripy pants, flowing shirt, tricorn hat, eye patch, even though you don't need it.
You bought a St. Patrick's outfit in Carol's.
Full on.
That's exactly
full on. Like if there was a Carol's for pirates, that's where you went.
You get the impression he doesn't want to stand out. He's trying to be a pirate.
It's more Pirates of Penzance than like Pirates of the Caribbean type thing.
It's more that they'll kind of like besiege it.
You are the very model of a major rabbit.
Modern Raven, General Rabbit. There we go. But no, it's again to what's the siege? That's exactly what I want them thinking that.
Yeah. Why do all Darren's characters want us to be able to move conspicuously through every adventure? It's so funny. Like every time we're like, I
nearly swear in the last campaign somebody dressed up like a pirate as well. Who was that? Was that you? Or was that Loran? I think it was Loran. I think Loran and Naomi, they wanted to have a full on pirate because Loran got the stripy pants, I think.
Yeah.
That character would have done it not like for
You
total
had
just to
worms
look.
in your waistcoat.
You know,
True.
that was food orientated. They're tasty.
Yeah. So you're fully pirated up, and you do get a couple of looks and sniggers from the crew. And they kind of point and laugh a wee bit. Make a roll of perception check, see if you check it. Actually, notice
People
it.
are allowed to do this if they don't have any friends. People
True.
do this kind of thing if they don't have friends to call them out.
Are you going to mention it to him?
We're friends. I'm
Harry's friend.
I'm his friend.
Okay.
So I go,
Perception, yeah.
Yeah.
can I
23.
22. You hear and see everyone sniggering and pointing.
Can I roll for persuasion and talk to Lopan?
You can certainly give it a whirl.
I can try. I can try.
They don't necessarily have to. It's not necessarily rolling. Persuade him.
Okay. Hey Lopan, can I talk to you just real quick? Just the smallest thing.
I'm going to be honest. If you haven't been doing that from the start, I might be psychic. So, like.
Okay, so just come over here.
Oh, that's what that right.
So your outfit.
Yeah, Daddy's not a proper pirate now. I can't
So-
get the voice down though. But I will.
Lopan.
Yeah.
That outfit might make pirates think you're making fun of them in their own place. Would you like if someone came in to, in the Feywild, Temple Bar, that part?
Oh god.
And if someone came in and they were all like,
Oh.
yar, 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 I'm Faye, ooh, and if they wore big, if they wore tracksuits, but they were wrong, and they were they weren't the right one, they were from 7 years ago or something, and they had the spiky Air Max, but it's they're not the real ones, and they just wrote things on them, and they were the Feywild, they have those little sticks that they put in their mouths to make smoke, the little.
Oh, like
So,
carrot
if they were
cigars.
like-
Leave one, go on.
Right. So if they were going around with carrot cigars hanging out that they never ate, but they were "Whoa, I'm in the Fae," like that, you'd find that insulting, right?
I don't know, cause I haven't really been in the Fae much, but at least he's trying his best,
So I'm saying, if we go to the pirate place, why wouldn't you let me know?
I thought you did, and I
If
see
we
what you
go
got.
to the pirate place and you're wearing a pirate costume, because it doesn't feel real, Lopan. It doesn't feel real.
All
You
right.
don't look like a pirate. You look like someone who's trying to make fun of a pirate, and we're going to them for help.
Bollocks, I didn't think of that night, to be honest with you. I was just maybe if they're staring at me, they won't be staring at the captain being all ill,
Yeah,
That's what I was going
I mean, they know the captain.
I know, I didn't think of it like that.
Tell you what. There's a rule someone at Tabaxi I knew called Kitty Cat Chanel, and they said if your thing is too much, just turn around and the first thing you see, you just take it off. Some of this is really cool. How would you feel about me just moving some stuff?
Are we having a dress-up montage now?
All right.
So it's a full-on, Pretty Woman dress-up montage.
Yeah.
Wild women do it.
I was gonna do that.
I have to say, Forrest Gump wasn't in that one.
No, he
I
wasn't
used
there.
that. Or
No,
Back to the
how
Future.
about I was gonna do this, but I'm gonna just go stealth.
In the outfit.
I'm just gonna hide. That's my plan. If it's does that work?
Well,
Okay, Lopan. Let's go do our.
No, but I'm just trying. So get rid of this then, and take off the eye patch and.
Yeah, I'd say lose that and that, untie that,
Well, can I keep that?
and put your regular feet back on, and I
Alright.
think you're good.
All right.
I like that.
Don't want to piss them off.
yeah. You
Didn't
between the
actually
two
At
of
least
us.
with the hat, you look more like a tourist, and that's like somebody who's.
I always
trying
wanted to
take
wear
the
it.
piss out.
If you haven't realised, the hat's my thing. I wanted a pirate hat.
Well,
Yeah.
but,
Flotsum, baby.
well, I mean,
Actually, I was going for one thing. I didn't know I'd be honestly pissing them off, but I was going for one other thing. But yeah.
well,
So
look,
apparently, like, you know,
you can give it a whirl. What I want you both to do is, if you're going to be working together to do this, both of you give me a performance check to see how well
Bitch,
you
good
put
night.
together. Well,
Actually,
that's the thing. This is better than you rolling persuasion. You're rolling to your strength now.
I'm
Give me a
not.
performance check
I'm not.
to see how well you put together this outfit that you might actually give you a better in as a pirate if you're trying to talk
I
to
don't
them.
use this bloody dice that often, but I will if you get that 15 because I have nothing plus.
Okay.
24, bitch.
Okay. It takes, like, in a couple of minutes, Gray, his style sense kicks in and his well-travelled aspects, and he travelled with a couple of drag shows through the Fahey run, and so he knows a bit about kind of layering and kind of contouring. So he manages to get you into a position where you actually look like some of the crew are like, it's a good look. It's a
You
good
know,
look.
pure decent.
Yeah, and even with the tricorn hat, that is some people consider to be a bit too touristy. Even that seems to blend in. It's like
I make it work.
You make it work.
Awesome.
You make it work.
I think this is the only ever time that I make something work. But yeah, there
There you go.
I'm gonna
I'm
go
your
with it.
friend Lopan. I won't let you embarrass yourself, and I won't let you miss an opportunity if I can help you.
No, thanks, Gray. Like, I'm now looking at it, I could understand how like it could seem a bit like, you know, rude and taking the piss, and that's not what I was going for.
Ah, that's great.
So, dead.
So Carabash is kind of just still standing there looking,
Problem.
bumping the toe beans. Carabash is standing there holding the captain at the top of the gangplank going, right, are we okay now? Can we go?
Yeah.
I think we don't say R after every sentence. Yeah, I think we're deadly. Yeah.
And he just turns and starts walking down the gangplank. You three are taking her disembarking with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couple of the crew
In
start
fact,
to unload stuff as well.
I want to get kind of in front of him just to kind of, you know, he's holding something. He's not at his kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just worried about him because he's got his hands full. So I will be
Okay. Well, he's leading the way to where you don't know where you're going.
front-ish.
Yeah. So you're alongside him or with him.
Yeah.
So he's pushing through, but as you come down to off the dock itself isn't overly crowded. You got some people helping unload stuff, and you do get some looks because some people have clocked it's the silver spear, and they're seeing the people disembarking, and they're kind of looking at like, and you don't get any weird looks because you're a rabbit folk, because there's all sorts here on the dock.
Yeah.
There's other rabbit folk.
There's not just yet, but they don't act as if they're like surprised by it.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever. Because there's all sorts. You, even at this area where you're coming into the docks, into the main to kind of road that leads out of the docklands and up towards the city, and kind of the central rim of it, you're seeing smorgasbords of race, colour, different kind of variations. You've got dragonborn, tieflings, elves, dark elves, humans, tabaxi, and once or twice you swear you see hopping between the large crowds of people is the odd rabbit person. There's gnomes, halflings, dwarves, the works, everything is here.
You know the way when you're kind of like you're like a tourist place and there's something you really want to go to, you know, you can't.
Yeah.
When I see a Haragon, when I see a rabbit folk, I'm kind of like,
It surprises you, but I mean, nobody seems to be put off by your appearance. Nobody seems to be put off by, particularly now that you're dressed well, nobody seems to be paying you over. You get the odd glance. I mean, the more you move away from the docks and the less you're associated with the spear, because the looks you got coming off the silver spear were like, the dock hands were like, what the fuck?
They were looks for the sphere.
Yeah, they were like, okay, this is strange. They weren't expecting this crew to disembark. And Carabash gets the odd, you hear like, Carabash, what? And he just kind of nods, and they see that they eventually see he's carrying the captain. And like there's a look of concern on some people's faces. Some people look down and then just turn away. A lot of people going about their business. The streets are, the more you go into the central rim of the city, it's busy. Now you don't feel it as you're walking, but the way the city is laid out, it's very much a spherical thing. So it's like a ring world type of situation. Like you're walking on a ring. And the streets are huge. So these central sections of the ship, that like it's not that you're covered, you can see the stars. Whatever view you're on, you can see the stars. But everything is like around the docklands in particular, everything is made up of old ships. Like there's dockmaster
offices that you can see were once cabins. But the closer you get into the city and the more you get away from the docks, you see that there's actually regular buildings here, like stonework. In some cases, woodwork in some other cases, a mixture of both. And the closer you get in and the quicker you move around the streets, you see that it's pretty much resembling a regular city with the odd piece of architecture that incorporates that nautical or spacefaring ship theme. Can everyone roll me a perception check, please?
No.
21.
18.
Ah, boo. 12.
So Gray, you're all very much kind of taking all of this in. And there's a moment where you get into a clearing, not like so much a town square or anything, but it's very much a crossroads with a central section, and there's some vendors on like stalls selling some food and stuff, like rat and a stick and that type of thing. And just as you stop, and Carabash seems to be getting his bearings, and then you realize where he was or he is, and heads off to the right hand side. Just as you head off, you get this sensing suspicion that there's somebody watching you.
Oh.
But just as you look to see where you think they are, there's nobody there. And you're like, okay, that was interesting. But you don't see anyone. But you get the sense that you were being watched, or somebody had eyes on you. But
I'm gonna tell these guys that.
so, you're walking for about 20 to 30 minutes, milling about in between all different buildings. Yeah.
Just if you're not solid, definitely you reckon we're being watched.
I have to say that it felt that unmistakable sense of someone's looking at you. When I tried to see who it was, couldn't see anybody, which suggests to me they're good at it, but we were being watched. In my experience, I've never been watched.
Are there's buildings on the street that we're going down, are they one story or two story?
They're not
Mixture.
buildings.
Oh,
They're
There are buildings on the streets.
We're walking in the direction of like how big are the buildings? Like, could you kind of easily climb up onto the roof and move from?
Yeah, no, very much so. They're on top of each other. Like everything is built on top of each other here, and it's like it does give off that city vibe though. You feel like you're in a city, albeit one you've never seen before, and it's such a melting pot of race and kind of different shapes and sizes that you're like, it's just wow.
How difficult would it be for me to kind of get a slightly higher up bird's eye view, but stay stealthy, but keep an eye on the group so I know where we're going, and make it kind of maybe the high ground will give me
Sure,
better
that's
view.
a simple Assassin's Creed follow mission. So yeah, you can
if we're
definitely do
being
that.
followed, well, again, it kind of subconsciously, it's like someone's out doing me on stealth.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get up high and get up on one of the roofs, you can. Give me an acrobatics check.
Yeah, sure.
And then you can stay at it and roll stealth if you need to.
All right, cool. Well, it probably, they'll notice me. If I don't do stealth now, won't they notice me go up?
Yeah.
So I'll do stealth first, if that's okay. So
yeah, go ahead.
Right, so the culture of dice are letting me down. That's an 18 on stealth.
Okay.
And then, right, you got one more chance. I'm going to go back to the blue dice. Sorry. Isn't everybody? So acrobatics, yeah?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics is, alright, I rolled an 18 plus 7, which is 25 on acrobatics.
That's acrobatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of go stealth, you sneak into the crowd, and then you make your way up.
I will whisper to the group that I'm going to go and just have a look, because sometimes a paranoia isn't paranoia, but don't worry, I'll be close.
Yeah, don't lose sight of us.
No, definitely won't.
Yeah.
Just good to see who's watching the watchers.
Okay. You up onto the roofs, and you're kind of hopping and keeping up with the group, looking down. Give me, as you're doing this, and you're getting close, Carver's look, not long now, we're nearly there. Give me a perception check as you're going.
Alright.
Seems so funny to not put the cat on the roof. Yeah. I'm gonna send my
that's a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Just as you're doing this, you're keeping an eye on everyone, and just out of the corner of your eye to the left, in the crowd, you see somebody, hooded figure, tall. You can see the bottom of their face, dark skin, dark cloak over them, they kind of look up in your direction, and they can see you. Clock that they can see you.
Can they clock that I've seen them?
And yeah, he's both kind of, and as the eyes, she looks up, you see it's a female form. The hood is back. You see her eyes; they're kind of bright, kind of glowing purple eyes. She looks up at you, dark skin, and she kind of then, as you clock each other, she then pulls the cloak and then disappears into the crowd.
I will wander stealthily back to the group and relay the information and the description of the person. Did I clock it at any race or just dark skin?
What did you get in perception again? 21 was it?
20.
20.
Oh, perception, yeah, 30, 20.
30. No, you could just see that she's dark skin and bright kind of purple amethyst eyes.
Yeah, like I'll describe that. And it's like, yeah, they were really good. Like they noticed me when I noticed them. So that's not. It's sometimes can be quite difficult. So like I'm impressed. But I think they've gone now. They've been spotted. But just gone it. Column. You got any? Well, so I know any nicknames you want us to call you?
Column Carabash.
You were saying, oh no, sorry, no, yeah.
Column is the griff.
Yeah, apologies. Me head, just the air is getting to me, like, you know. So, Carabash, like, you got any enemies in the city or people that like to look after you? Because, we were being followed. Like, great spot, not
you do remember the story I told you about?
Yeah.
Just definitely, most likely, maybe there could be a chance that maybe the captain has a spy in the city.
Anyone that looks like this, and they give the description I got.
That could be any one of the spies that works for the captain.
And always good to ask, you don't know.
Yes, and he kind of he's more focused on the captain, and the captain being on his arm, and he puts like here we are here, and as you get to you see it kind of opens out into a small clearing, and then down like from an alleyway, then into a clearing, and you see in front of you a large 3-story building that looks like a giant warehouse made of wood and metal, hodgepodge, nets hanging from sections. You see that the top part of the building is definitely made out of the kind of the stern part of the ship, as the front of the ship is sticking out. Not the stern, the bow part of the ship is the front of the ship is sticking out, and on the front of it then you see a very buxom tiefling female wooden figure carved into it, and she kind of has her hands tucked behind her back and her head up, and her horns are kind of curled back and long hair. This is just a carving. On the top of it, and below her, you see a sign that says Coggin, Sprocket, Enchantment and Magical Outfittings. And then below that in tiny font, Spelljamming Helms Specialities. And there's large double doors that are huge, massive, large double doors, metal, that have a couple of hatches at different heights along the side for each race, depending on who's coming up to it. There are barrels. There are barrels kind of laid up around the front of it, inconspicuous. A couple of crates with some supplies in it. People are milling past it back and forth, but this seems to be like he marches right up to the main door, and with his kind of shoulder holding the captain, bangs into the metal, and you hear a clang as after a couple of minutes you hear, and then one of the slots at knee level slides out. You see a pair of eyes look up. Hello? Yes? It's like, it's Carabash. I need your help. Okay. And it's like, you hear the lock spin unlock from the other side of it at different sizes. And there's like, and you see this head poke out. You see this halfling male with a shock of red hair, spiked, pair of goggles sitting on top of it, sun-covered, dirty big lamb chop, mutton chop sideburns, and his big ears kind of pointed as he looks out at all of you, kind of at around the same height as you. Looks at it, I was like, come in, I suppose. And he kind of gestures you all inside. And
I thought you were saying it was a halfling the size of Darren. It was a halfling the size of Lopan.
I knew what he was saying.
I knew. I was like, do I remember what a halfling is?
I actually thought he was a gnome.
He brings you all in, and the door clangs behind you, that's where we're going to go to break.
No.
So after the break, we're going to announce the winner of the copy of the Volume 1 of Die, which I'm going to do a thing of ding here. This is the one I'm carrying with me today because it's huge. And then we're also going to have the giveaway of a question for the giveaway for this copy of Elric, The Bane of the Black Sword by Michael Moorcock.
Tom can enter that one if he wants to.
Yeah, everyone and anyone can enter that one. So, folks, we'll see you after the break. Have a good one. And we're back. Okay, so let's quickly get into this. So we have the entries. So I'm just going to count up the entries here. Roll me a d12, please. Anyone? Somebody?
4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations, Fred Fletch.
Our favourite Scotsman.
So Kieran Gillen's Die will be winging its way to you in its hefty tomish form.
Well, I can't think of a better person to receive a hefty gift than Mr. Fred Fletch.
So we will get that in the post here. I'll contact you regarding I actually have your postage details because you've won something before. So like, see, folks, repeat prizes on this show.
We'll get it in the post and we'll see how cheap the Ryanair flights are.
Yeah. Actually, it might be fucking cheaper to fly it over.
I know, right?
Courier.
Yeah. Anyway, so congratulations, Fred. Now. It's great prize. Now, look, folks. I can't stress how fantastic the Elric stories are. So this is I know it looks like a small tome, but it's a full collected book, and it's a gorgeous graphic novel. Highly recommend entering for this. The art in it is absolutely gorge.
Also, it's worth more because Wayne touched
Are
it.
you sure you want to give it away, Wayne?
Well, look, I mean, just look at that page alone. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Magic.
Beautiful.
Magic
This
corner.
is the cracking stories from, and again, I'm going to say it, Michael Moorcock. Yeah, like Michael Moorcock's original library, but this one is adapted by Roy Thomas. So you also have a Thomas and a Cock.
We do.
But you're reading it for the Moorcock.
Yes,
That's what you're doing.
really. So I can't stress enough that Elric is hugely important into modern fantasy lore for a lot of the stuff that came about because of it. So yeah, cannot recommend. So enter into this. The question is, who is the original author of the Elric stories? And I've said his name about 1,000,001 times. And I just want to, it's from the particular library of this individual. So I want everyone to write that word down below in the comment section. So YouTube can try and censor us. No. So who is the original the creator of Elric? Who's the original writer of Elric? And I want you to put the answer below, and then share the video of the episode and tag Irish Pubcast on any social media platform. Also, for the first time, thanks to Technology Wizardry, our video episodes will be available on Spotify to watch on whatever device. If you're watching it on your mobbly phones.
Wizard did it.
I did. So you will be able to watch us on Spotify as well as on YouTube, but you can comment on YouTube, and then also don't forget to share the video either from Spotify or from YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts as well, because they're obviously available in audio. And share the answer and share the episode and tag Pubcast so we know it was you. And this prize could be winging its way to you, just like Die is now going to be winging its way to Fred Fletch in Scotland. Okay, folks, without further ado, let's get back to it. Right, so you have now entered into the warehouse of Cog and Sprocket, the brothers, enchanters and magical artificers of spelljamming helms. The door slams behind you, and you see this halfling form kind of scurry up what looks like a set of steps that are built into the door. So they're like part of the door, and he kind of scurries up and starts locking the door as it goes with all these bolts and slides them closed. And then scurries back down the steps. And then he's like, just come on, follow me. And he heads into this warehouse. And it's kind of dimly lit at this point, but you can see light at the end of a kind of a short corridor that leads to another set of double doors that he just pushes through like swinging doors. They kind of flip, and Carabash kind of catches them and tries to angle it that he doesn't smash Captain Mingna into it as he walks through the door. She's still out cold asleep. Like, she's just... You can tell that she's sleeping. She's not...
When he's locked the doors, I'm just going to go, are you expecting trouble? Or is it just, like, that type of area? I understand, like, if it is. Like,
We are in a city, my friend, of general piracy. So, you know... And he just keeps walking.
I know, it's just a bit silly, you know, on your own doorstep. I know.
We kind of expect for everything. And he just keeps going, and then leads you into another set of double doors. So it's like double doors and double doors. And as he goes through the second set of double doors, and you all follow him, you're brought into this massive, wide open space that has workbenches on one side, like countless amounts of workbenches on one side of the wall. Another countless amount of workbenches, larger ones on the other side. Up in the ceiling, you see hanging from chains, you see large frames and arcane kind of focusing sections that have dim crystals hanging from them. All sorts of tools and what look like welding equipment up on walls. Kind of a huge collection in the glass cabinet of arcane focuses, like different crystals of different sizes. You can definitely sense Zilzara, and to a point Grey, just a kind of a mishmash of arcane energy, just milling around this place. At the far end of it, you can, even giving off the heat, you can smell it just before you got into the room. It seems to be a large forge at the far end of this huge, long, think like half the size of the warehouse at the end of Raiders, but not stacked full of boxes. It's just basically a mishmash of ship parts, kind of different workbenches, large kind of industrial sized smelting tools, multiple things. There's a couple of different individuals smattered about the place as well, working on different things. You see sparks going off, a couple of welding masks over faces as like you see somebody off in one corner and they're drawing glyphs in the air as they seem to be enchanting an object. And this halfling kind of moves you all forward to a large desk at the end that seems to have been cleared. It's like, I got your message. Just put her down. And it's weird, this halfling's voice is it's fluctuating between different accents. It's all over the place. It's not like he doesn't have like an English accent. It's kind of like different twangs. Like it's like he's from everywhere.
Aidan Gillian can play him in the
100%.
Yeah.
Aidan Gillian all over the gap, but not in a sinister, creepy, stick your finger up your one way type thing.
Is that a read? Yes.
Like he seems to be cheery, rosy cheeked, covered in dirt, and is kind of his slick red hair back with his goggles on top, and he kind of clambers up on the far side of it, and he looks at the captain as Carabash puts her down, and kind of not so much, just kind of takes the blanket off her and kind of lays her down. She's still asleep, and he kind of looks her over a bit. He's like, yeah, not really my kind of, and he goes, Graz! He shouts at the top of his lungs, Graz! And you hear like a clattering up on this. As you see now, there's a set of stairs right at the back, kind of to the right side of the room. There's a set of stairs that go up to an elevated office that's up, and there's a light on in there. And you hear kind of a crash, and it's like, and a kind of like, a yelp, and then the silence, and he's just standing there shaking, the halfling is standing shaking his head. A minute. And he kind of scuttles off and heads back, and he just shouts at the end of this, Graz! So, all right, I'm coming. And you see the door opens, and a goblin steps out. And looks at it and says, what's going on? Carabash is here. And he's this kind of jittery looking goblin with a kind of a plain white shirt, breeches with suspenders. His sleeves are rolled up, and he's wearing a kind of a weird pair of spectacles on the end of his long nose that have multiple lenses on them, kind of like a clockmaker's lenses. And he kind of lifts them up and plops them on top of his head, and trundles down on the steps and kind of meets the halfling at the end. And he's about a foot shorter than the halfling. He's like, let's go. He kind of pushes him off. And the two of them scutter back across. Scutter?
Yeah.
Scuttle across the floor towards you.
Scuttering across the floor, that's it.
Gross. And they both hop up on matching kind of stools that give them a certain height that they can look over the captain. And the goblin kind of looks her over and looks at the halfling beside him, and then starts kind of prodding and poking at her, kind of opening up her mouth, opening her eyes, looking at her, and she's like, and she's still asleep.
God.
And he's okay. And he kind of rubs his hands together and then pulls them apart, and you see these arcane glyphs form around. And it's like he's kind of trying to focus something, and they're kind of they're purplish in hue, and he kind of twists and turns, and the color and the spectrum starts to change as they go from purple to blue to green to orange. And he's
To Octarine.
Yeah. And then he just smacks his hands back together, and you see that there's glyphs now on the backs of his hands. And he then starts running his hands over her, and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah. This is what deity did she make a pact with? What bond? What's going on? What did she sell? A kidney, a soul? Like what happened? It's definitely something that she's made a pact with a deity of some sort. That's what this is. It's a magical deity.
Do you know
stamp.
Shar? She
The
bothered
pact
Shar.
has been transferred to her. She did not make the pact.
Oh.
She killed somebody who made the pact.
Oh, so it's not an illness, it's
And
a
the
pact.
pact
But it's
is with
Shar.
Shar.
Oh,
As
man.
my furry friend who has mentioned.
Sure. Interesting.
If we don't do something
And-
soon,
and
we're
I'm
gonna
like-
have to change her name from Migna to Hawkshoe.
I show our friend, our short-statured friend, my markings. I said, I have the similar affliction.
Oh, and he pops the glasses back down and starts flicking the lenses. Oh, interesting. And he kind of waves his hand a bit. Yeah.
He gives me a wave.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. I see it. Yeah. Okay. This is workable. It's workable. What? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need a bit of time. Is she alive? And he starts poking at her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's breathing. You're obviously alive. How? So you think did you both kill the same person or?
No. I killed somebody who had the pact. I killed a colleague of hers who had the pact transferred to him. So the one that I have from our knowledge has had 2 hops. So there was the original pact made with this goddess. Migna's former first mate, wasn't it? Carabash? Inherited the markings.
No, Taryn.
Sorry, Taryn.
Yeah.
Taryn inherited the markings, and I killed Taryn when he started to transform into a mind flare, wasn't it?
Whoa. Carabash, what have you been up to? This is some crazy stuff. Okay. Right. So, the thing about these type of things are, and again, I'll have to do some research. And you, as he says, it's like I have to do research. The halfling beside him just rolls his eyes a bit and kind of just stares off. We'll need to investigate this a bit more. Right. What's happened here is that usually these pacts are passed from family member to family member, mother to daughter, father to son, that type of thing. So it's like it follows the family line, and you inherit the abilities of your, ancestors that have sworn fealty to the gods.
Yeah.
Usually it's not handed down by killing somebody. So this must be a pretty powerful type of, I'm going to have to do a bit of research. Okay, she is okay. I can't sense any necrotic sensor. She's not dead. She's not undead. She's just sleeping. So she will eventually wake up. I think whatever happened, what happened to cause this? What happened for her to fall asleep or go unconscious or stuff?
There was a surge in the magic being used.
Yes, because it's connected to the silver spear.
Oh, we've been getting a lot of these surges of late, haven't we? And just as he says that, you see around you in the workshop any arcane source of light, because there are these arcane crystals and sconces around the entire workshop that give off light. There's like a surge of energy, and then one or two of them go pop out, and then boom, and you're all plunged into darkness. And you just hear the halfling's like, "Not again.
I'm going to do finally something useful. I'm going to take out my little hooded lantern and light it and go, I got you there, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks. And you see a couple of lanterns pop up here and there, and it was like, this keeps happening. What's going on with this place? It's like, look, we'll get it sorted. It's like, but it's not just us. It's the entire... Oh, and the halfling totters off and goes off into one of the corners and starts kicking a box on the wall. It's like, oh, okay, and hold the lantern up for a second. And he holds it over, and he kind of starts looking at Ming-Na, and then he asks, can I see your, show me your hands?
So she shows him.
And he kind of takes it and he runs his hands like his, and he's got these long, spindly fingers, mottled. And you can tell, closer inspection, even with the light, as the light kind of reflects off his face, it makes him look more aged, but it's an old goblin. Like, this dude is old. And he runs his hands, and you can feel this warmth kind of emanating. His hand just hovers above yours, and he kind of starts, and every now and again there's like a tingle on the brand and the tattoos, and they don't so much glow up, but you can feel his arcane energy kind of probing it to see what it is. It's like, yours hasn't lost any potency with the transfer. That's not the thing. It's like passing on a commitment. That's what it is. Like they're delegating commitments to somebody else. That's what's happening here. So, whatever this is, with Shar, who is bad news.
She's a god. You know.
Yeah. Keeping up. She is.
God.
And
Meow.
she is. And she is not somebody you want to mess with. So whoever initially initiated this, they were into some serious voodoo. So, yeah. And then at that moment, then the lights then all kick back in, and you see the halfling seems to be banging on a kind of an arcane symbol box that's hanging on the wall that wires are running from around to hit the sconces, and then he moves over and starts screwing in more arcane light bulbs. It's like, and he comes back around. It's like, right, well, okay, well, look, this will keep you busy. I've got stuff I need to do. We still have that shipment and that order for the new helm for the dark tide that's due for next week. So I gotta go run that. So you do whatever this is. Do your research, and then I'll be over here. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, what? Look, we'll look after her here. She'll be fine. We know her. She knows us. We're friends. It's all good. But this is not going to be cheap. This is an intense investigation on my part when it comes to the research. I'll need, I need a down payment on the work, and, maybe you could do some stuff for us. We've got a couple of outstanding jobs that need done.
I think we can do a bit of an arrangement. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Zill keeps being landed into these agreements that we do with people. I think she's going soft on us. She always helps us.
So, we've got a couple of things outstanding. One, not, as obvious, we have a power problem.
That be to do with anything about that power in the center of this moving city, like I heard about.
Well, I mean, it's affecting everything, so I guess so, but even I don't know exactly. So the city is old, very old. And while the council may be investigating it, and I think they are, they're not being very forthcoming with their investigation and their findings.
Typical council.
Well, I mean, they have their reasons, I guess, but I mean, I just care about being able to do my work, and my brother here cares about doing his work, which in turn sustains a lot of the ships. So, the thing about it is that we would like to know. So if you were willing to investigate it for us, we could maybe throw you in the right direction to maybe talk to some of the people within the Red Shields, and they could maybe give you, if you're persuasive enough or grease their palms enough, they'll be able to tell you what's what.
I'd prefer to be pointed as opposed to thrown. We don't always land on our feet, but hang on, that was a play on words. Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Sure. So you want to go talk? There's a Red Shield, branch office about 2 streets over, and they'll probably, maybe ask them about it, see if there's anything ongoing for the local area, because it's different sections are losing power at different times. So if we could get it back up and running, again, this thing for the Dark Tide that we're trying to get built, it's a new Spelljamming helm. I need to enchant it. He needs to build it. And we're behind time because
we keep losing power. That's one big thing.
Yeah, I'm not speaking for all of us, but I'd be up to like at least going in and having a look around and seeing what the problem is there.
Okay. Another question though. You're a pretty spry fellow. Yeah?
Oh, me? Yeah.
How fast can you run?
And when he says that, I quickly have an eye around because usually people point stuff at me when they say that. But I'm just get this worried look for a second, and I'm looking around, and then I realise he's just asking questions like, "Well, it depends, Mike."
Well, you see, okay, this is a bit more kind of fun orientated for us, I guess. So there's an annual race in the city. And he kind of looks at the three of you and completely ignores Carabash because Carabash looks like a lumbering hulk. And we need to enter a team in to represent us, but we don't have the numbers. And we need people to join us for the race. You see, there's a considerable prize pot. And my brother likes to gamble and has bet a significant amount. I haven't bet that much. He's bet a significant amount of our earnings on this race. Back when we had a team. But following a workshop accident, and you look behind him and there's a sign that says like days since last accident.
Yeah.
And it's like 6. I was like, we had an accident last week and we lost 3 of our guys, and here you are. And I think that's kind of kismet, that like leading us to think maybe we could substitute you in, but only if you're anyway good.
I have been known to get myself out of a bad situation, you know. I'm not gonna. I do a bit of cardio. Like, I'm not gonna brag, you know.
Well, the thing is that it's not for another couple of days, so you have time.
And will this kind of knock a bit off the price, or all the price off you fixing up the captain there?
If you help us with both of those situations, I think we could definitely talk about sorting some stuff out. Again,
we're kind of a group, so I'm not we'll have to have a chat and then get back to you. Give us a sec.
Okay. Well, take your time. Do you have somewhere to stay in the city?
We can stay on the ship when we stay on the ship.
Carabash was like, we're probably going to stay on the ship. We're not, you know. Hey, don't remember, what ship did you come in? And here then the halfling is like, they came in on the Silver Spear. And I was like, Carabash kind of turns like, yeah, word travels faster out these parts. Yeah, we came in on the Spear. Whoa, isn't that Grayscale ship? It was, yeah. All right, okay. Still flying under Yee's flag, Carabash there? Not so much. We're thinking of moving. Okay. Yeah, right, well, maybe stay on the ship for now, I suppose, if you need to make a quick exit, but you don't really want to be going anywhere without the captain, right? And Carabash kind of blushes a wee bit and is like, yeah. Right, well, we'll keep her safe. Nobody will know. We have a place at the back. It's nice and guarded. Did the enchanting myself. We'll be okay. So, there you have it. You've got some opportunities in front of you to help us, and we in turn will help you. You know how things go around here, Carabash. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's the way it is.
Is there a room where we can have a quick chat? So to speak.
You could use our office, and he points to the elevated office at the back.
Yeah, we go have a chat.
Sure.
Go chatting.
Okay, so the trees make your way up. Do you want Carabash to follow you, or do you tell him to stop?
Don't tell him to stop.
Yeah, no door.
Yeah, I suppose we're kind of an extended company at this point. You know, he the stakes are as high for everybody, I guess, and he's the captain's second-hand person.
Number one.
What's our true north mission at this point? Our mission was to get away from where we were, and we just stumbled into adventure after adventure. But we we owed Mingna for her help, but we more than paid her back with our talents. And at this point, we would either consider ourselves to be crew and responsible for Mingna, but at this point, it's making sure you don't get to Mingna's condition would be the priority. So I presume we'll go all in on Operation Mingna so that we can help and understand what's going on with Zil as well.
Lopan's thinking, do you want us to do this in character or in character?
Just whatever you want to do.
Well, the way I'm thinking is that you're sick, you're sick, she's sick. So if they can cure her, then we can cure you. We don't have much. Well, we have a bit of money. We don't have much. So that's why I
Says
think.
you.
But and then again, racing not so much. But if it knocks some, but I'd love to kind of go rummaging in the city and see what all this power is. But that's what I said. Ask you lot what you want to do.
Well, you know me, not really a team player. Hates physical exertion. But on the flip side of that, I need to get rid of these tattoos. We need to help Mingna, who is, as you say, in a much worse condition than I am in.
If they can cure her, then they can definitely cure you. Like, you know.
Yeah, and we have to wait until the brothers finish their research, investigation work, whatever they're doing. So we reluctantly, we might as well help them with this race thing. You know, it will pay for either fully or partially our ask from them. So
the
makes sense.
The race is in a couple of days, so like maybe if we go and kind of like at least sort out, if we can't like sort out the entire problem of power, maybe we can find something that'll just power it. You know, like is it a fireball or battery or whatever, like something that'll, you know, keep the lights on in here, like, you know, and then they'll at least be able to do work, you know. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Just as long as someone yells, "No, this is pod racing," Sorry, anyone out there, King Phantom Menace Bingo.
That we had a Phantom Menace Bingo earlier on already. Twice.
No, but Kim doing it. She's fucking obsessed, lads. It's unreal how many times it pops up or organically in podcasts.
Okay, so
but like, yeah, so we do it then and hope for the best.
Yeah.
If all else fails, we might get a little bit of extra change. It might not be too expensive to get to get this illness sorted out.
I suppose I'm trying to get straight in my head. I'm so used I used to hang out with like humans and stuff. I'm not used to someone else being better at going on roofs and faster than me. I'm not used to those. It's so funny. So like we have a race to do. Let's not pick the cat, but it's kind of nice. It's good.
I'm going to be honest with you, like it's the big fee. People are like, even with the boots on, people are always like they assume I've got good eyesight and I can hear things.
Can I ask you a personal question?
I don't mind. Go ahead. Like.
What height are you without your ears?
Oh Jesus! Straight to the not as tall as I'd like to be. Let's just say that.
Okay, that's decided.
There was at one point I was deciding on like, you know, wearing some high heels, but like I got the wrong kind of looks.
You don't need that.
But the right kind of looks, depending.
Yeah, you don't need that. You should be proud of yourself. I'm just wondering about like your stride length is what I'm questioning.
I think maybe I'm 4 foot with me ears, so about 2 foot something.
Yeah.
So her hair shorter.
Someone throw that camera.
But like, yeah,
it's not just, you're just not allowed to do it. I'm allowed to do it as well. It's not just you, Kim, right? I can do two.
Well, you know, he can deal with the twins while standing up. I'm gonna stop.
Did you notice though on another note, like that they have other like rabbit folk here?
Did he say other on purpose because of what I was doing?
No.
Okay,
Well, I was trying to say something, and I nearly said the dreaded word that you don't say in front of like folk kind of people, and that's fix it.
Fix the folk.
No, you don't want
You
to fix
don't-
the
you don't
rabbit.
say
You
that.
don't want to fix the cat. You
They
get
don't
me?
Yeah.
like that.
We don't
That's
like
it.
that word, but I was about to use it.
Oh.
But like, yeah, like what's with that? Is this place part of the Feywild then or not? No.
It's very magic, right?
Because I'll be honest, between you lot, I've only ever talked to one other Heragon, and that was my sis, Poppy. Like, you know,
Poppy, yeah.
like I never seen anyone like, you know.
Yeah.
I was left at the doorstep, like raised by halflings, like, so, you know. So, but it's weird, like they're not giving me the looks that I'm used to.
Yeah.
So just thought, like, I haven't copped it, and sometimes things literally go over my ears. But like, we're definitely not in the Feywild, right?
No.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't think.
Do you think there might be a portal here though? Because there's a lot of Herons.
I think there's a lot of people here.
Now I'm thinking that's what it is, because I read what we're called in the book, but I think it might have been misspelled. So, you know, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologise. But like, you know.
So what are the group doing now?
Going back to volunteer as a racer and the cheer squad, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to, you know, channel my inner Sith and go, we will find your power.
So you're going to do both. You're going to talk and say we're going to do the power and we're going to the power investigation, and also we'll do it for the race. The Grez, the goblin, is kind of still talking to Carbash. Didn't move. He stayed where he was, and he's like chatting away to Carbash. Carbash seems to be filling him in on, like, you know, well, we took the spear and it was a chase and we had to go find the captain and so on. And you can tell from the demeanor that Carbash seems relaxed and does seem to trust these people.
Yeah.
That was a question mark.
Yeah, it does seem to be a level of trust here. And the halfling has come back over, and the halfling then said, by the way, I mean, I haven't really spoken to you guys. I don't know your names. Obviously, we know Carabash. He's an old friend, but I'm Henry Greenbottle, and this is my brother, Grez. We run this establishment. This is our place. We're affectionately called Cock and Sprocket. That's what everyone calls us. So,
What was your name? Henry Greenbottle? And
Henry Greenbottle is the halfling's name, and then Grez is the goblin's name.
Like, pleased to meet you. Like, I'm Lopan, Tinyfoot. Pleased to meet you. Like, which one's Cog and which one's Sprocket?
I'm Cog, he's Sprocket.
Cool, just so I don't get... Now, I might, because I have a tendency not to remember names. Faces all the time, but names not so much.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's unusual to see a goblin and a halfling considered to be brothers, but I'm adopted. His family, you know, it's again, you know, we travel a lot, and he stuck with his regional accent. I'm a bit all over the place, so it is what it is.
You're not strange at all. My mother and father are halflings, so I totally understand.
Yeah, my word. So goblins. Yeah, never knew my real parents.
Well, that's what I was trying to insinuate as well. So.
So cool. So give me a perception check, actually, Lopan.
Oh, so that's 16.
16. While you're chatting and while you're on, you can all give me perception checks if you wish to have a look around this room.
Mm-hmm.
But in particular for you, while you're chatting, your eyes wander and you notice a
13.
A large board, like a surfboard, that's up on the wall that seems to be prepped for work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very familiar to you.
It's just clicked, and I actually subconsciously I was thinking, I only know one other surfboard, and I'm like, and I say it just as if I'm channeling. I was like, dude, and I wander over, and I'm like, and I want to get up and want to smell it and see if, like, because I'm channeling.
Give me an investigation, yeah.
I don't think I have anything with senses, unfortunately.
Oh, God, needs
But what was that again?
Investigation.
Investigation. Yeah. Man, really? I'm gonna use the digital die and hope for the best. The fluffy digital die. Yes. 16.
16. You recognize it as being the I don't even know what they're called in D&D. I can't remember the name of it, but it's essentially it's Kiris Penelvat's hoverboard, his float board that he had. Your friend who you travelled with extensively, and it seems to be that this belongs to him. You can see he has his usual graffiti style on it that he's upgraded. It looks like it's been upgraded and worked on since then, but it's been brought in here. It looks like for some extra work.
And I totally forget myself, and I kind of easily take it down. And
well, it's a good bit up.
Oh, okay. Well, then I hop up and I'm hopping up and having a look, and I'm saying it's like, no way, man. I used to, and it's going like that.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend like that. That like, in fact, like, did he keep the ship? I don't know if he kept the ship. God, can I even remember what that ship was called? It's like, what? Who owns? Sorry, my voice got. And like, who owns this? Like, I used to have a friend like that.
Henry kind of looks at us like, oh yeah, that's we had a Triton come in about 2 months ago off the ship who needed a bit of work, and he dropped it in and left it here for work, and said he'd be back for payment, but that was 2 months ago. We haven't heard from him since. We were just going to break it down for parts if he wasn't back by the end of next week.
No. How much does he owe?
Oh, 50 gold.
We'll sort you out where you can knock it out for a tab. Do not dismantle this. I might have some we've got other things, but like I think I know him, and if he's not coming back in a couple of months, that yeah.
2 months. He
2
came
months.
in on a charter ship, part of a crew, dropped it in. We asked him if he wanted to pawn it, but he said he wanted to keep it, sentimental value. But then said we needed it. So the motor's gone in it. It needs to be replaced.
What was the name of the ship? Do you know?
Oh, I'll have to check our ledgers.
No, that's all right. Just kind of wondered.
Yeah, but he, 2 months ago he was part of a small crew.
Like,
It wasn't a big ship.
Crew. But I don't know. Couldn't be the same ship though. As I'm mumbling, thinking of, you can see I've got that look in my eyes. I'm remembering stuff.
Right.
So, what do the group want to do now at this point? You've agreed with Riz and Henry to kind of do those 2 particular jobs for them, or at least start them at some point. You've agreed with Carabash that you're going to stay on the ship. Is there anything you want to do? You're in the Flotsum now. You're in the city.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to go to, like vendors, or do you just want to sell the equipment and stuff like that? You still have all the, I know I sent you on the stats at the end of the last session for all the stuff that you had at the end of it. And there's magical items, all that type of stuff. You still have all of that. So it's whatever you want to do now at this point, the city is open to you to do.
Okay. Yeah, it might be nice to have a look around and see what merchants are here. I presume there'll be stuff available here that wouldn't be available anywhere else.
Yeah.
You guys want to look around?
Yeah, definitely. Like, maybe later on we can have a bit of a chat. Not now, but maybe next session. A little bit later. When I remember things that I've forgotten, unfortunately. But just fill in on something I noticed there. And sorry, my brain's gone.
Everyone
for the
fucking does it.
entire
Anyone
thing.
says that doesn't do it,
Right.
they're lying.
We all do it.
I just want to get names right, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, are you leaving this place?
This building, this shed, yeah.
Car was I'm going to make sure the captain is secure and safe, and then probably head back into the ship. You're free to continue. If you need my help for anything that's required of what they've asked, shout, and I can come, or I can send somebody. But it's probably best to keep our numbers low, and you are unknown faces here. I am more familiar. So it might be best to keep a low profile. People don't associate our crew with you yet. So keep yourself safe. And if you need anything, and he hands you a small stone with a symbol on it. This is a sending stone. I have the other one. If you need me, you call me. And he just hands it over.
Carabash, on a side note, right? It's amazing how people don't notice you if you slouch. They just think, he's no one important. If you don't, just keep your shoulders low, just it might help you.
Okay, and he's kind of attempting to.
Seriously, they
slouch.
just don't pat it on it. But when you're up and high and mighty, they're like, that guy's got something.
You learn this kind of thing in the Feywild, like you have to
Oi.
get a head down and get your hands out of your pocket.
Great, I read it in the book.
In the book. Okay, so Carabash is going to stay behind just to make sure the captain is comfortable and safe and contained here at the Cog and Sprocket Enchanters and Magical Spelljammer people.
I love it.
So, Where are the three you going at this point?
At the trade hall.
Okay. To the marketplace.
Marketplace, yeah,
There
whatever.
we go.
Yes. But Trade Hall is also.
Are you looking for anything? Looking for anything in particular?
I'm looking for maybe little potions, little bits, few bits. Looking for a few bits.
Okay.
Maybe look for a few bits.
Oh yeah, how you wander into Penny's looking for a couple of things and wander out with 2 full bags.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of when you say to the kind of Grez and Henry, Grez says, well, there is the marketplace. There's a localized marketplace. It seems to be it's pockets and stuff. So there are a couple of different places around that you could go to. What kind of places are you looking for? Enchantments we could do here, but if you're looking for magical items specifically that aren't crafted by us, there are a couple of our competitors, or smaller shops that we sell through. We like that, they sell our wares. We have a couple of different places. So what would you like in particular?
Well, I'm interested in the enchantments that you guys do. Are you expensive?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We are the best, so yes.
Interesting. If you were to just see me, I'm a musician and an artist. I like to help people in adventures. I like to keep everybody healthy. Do you think there's anything that you have or that you could do for me that would help me in our next in our coming tasks?
What kind of instruments do you use?
I have my instruments, like musical instruments, or my tools for fighting, or what would you like?
Well, as a bard, as a performer, you want something that's gonna be like using to boost your allies, or do you want something stabby to be able to?
Well, as much as I like to do damage, but I found that I don't do as much damage as my friends.
Okay.
So maybe supporting them does seem to be the thing I'm best at. So maybe something like that. I know a few good songs. I know a few terrible songs that are terrible on purpose.
Okay.
This is my lute, and I also have.
Many like it, but this one is mine.
Yeah. I scroll using the trackpad like a sociopath.
Okay. If you hand over the lute to him, he
Yeah.
kind of takes it. He's like, "Oh, right, okay." And he kind of again, the glyphs kind of form on his hands, and he kind of swirls his hand around a bit and kind of moves his hand over it. Does your lute currently have any enchantments on it at all? It's just a straightforward lute.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're doing a bit of quid pro quo here. You're going to be doing some work for us. We're doing some work for you.
Mhm.
So, I mean, usually our enchantments cost a bit of money. So I want you to roll a persuasion check on everything you just said there, please. So roll a persuasion for me, please.
Can we help?
It's directed directly
No
at
worries,
Gray.
no worries.
So
Cool.
Yes, dirty 20.
30-20. Okay. Since you're friends with Carabash and the captain, and he kind of puts the lute down for a second, and then stands back and Mr. Miyagi's the shit out of his hands,
Mm-hmm.
and then okay, here we go. And he just closes his eyes, and then there's a kind of a hum from his hands, and then he lifts the lute up and kind of caresses the ends of it, and runs his hands along the string, and you hear the as he runs his hands along the string, and then hands it back to you. Okay, give that a try, and you give it a strum and try and save against something I'm about to do to you. And he gonna just cast something at you while you strum the lute. I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw and add +2 to it.
And add +2.
So you have +2 to all of your casting.
Okay, I rolled a B.
Nice. So you get +2 to your casting. Sorry, your casting of your saving throws. All of your castings. Sorry. +2 to all of the bard's casting saving throws, and grants the use of a spell called Otto's Irresistible Dance. once per day.
Once per day.
Okay.
Very good.
So you now have that. So make a note of that. I'll send you on this information.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So you see him reach out and he tries to kind of push against you, and you kind of feel this presence kind of trying to push it against the front of your mind. And as you strum the lute, the musical notes seem to emanate and push the presence back. So you manage to save against him invading your mind.
Oh, very good.
Um,
So it's to saving throws and...
So all of the bard's casting, so +2 to your casts with the lute, as long as you're using the lute, it's +2, and then and then your saving throws, and grants you the use of Otto's irresistible dance once per day, which I'll send on the stats.
Very good.
Okay, so it's like, right, I'm tapped out for the day, so that's about as much enchanting as I'm doing right now. So
Thank you so much.
I would recommend going. There's a marketplace about 2 blocks over. You'll find a place there. A couple of different stores, different things you can sell wares, buy wares, do all sorts of things. It's like, oh, I'm pooped. I gotta sit down. Ugh.
So good.
You're all heading out to look for a market.
Yes.
Grand. You leave the Cog and Sprocket Emporium, head out into the echoing din of the city, merge into the crowd, and everyone roll me perception. As you merge into the crowd and step out, trying to find your way, heading towards the direction that Grez has given you.
Jesus Christ, my roll today. 22.
On that one, so far.
19.
19. With a 22, as you are stepping out and merging into the crowd, Grey, your ears stand up on end.
Right.
And you sense there's somebody following us. And that's where we're going to end.
Yay!
Thank you, folks, for watching and listening and catching up with us here at Sorcery Shenanigans. Don't forget to enter into the competition. Congrats to Fred Fletch. We'll reach out and get that book to you in the post. Go check out our sponsors, DublinCityComics.ie and also DakotaIrish.com. Discount code is down there in the, if I get the camera, down there in the corner. IRE Pubcast, man. IRE Pubcast. Discount code on the Dakota Irish website to get yourself some nice clackety stuff or some dice trays. We have been Sorcery Shenanigans. Until the next time, folks, take care of yourselves. Have a good one.
Bye.
I'm out.
Does anybody else want to hear me?